Yep.
It's not tension, but it has to deal with it. I can't
Yeah.
remember what the fucking word is. God damn it.
And honestly, when I started this project, it was a project of curiosity because I've wanted to do this for like 15, 20 years just
Oh,
to see it,
I wanted to do
just to
something
see the
similar, but
effect.
you took it like 18 steps higher than what I was planning on doing, and I'm very grateful for
Oh,
that because yeah,
and what you're probably thinking, what you wanted to do is what I intended when I started this in December.
yeah, I just
But
wanted to make
as
it. I just wanted to get
yeah,
like sheets of polycarbonate and just encase the whole thing. But I didn't take all the extra steps of all the engineering that you had to do to yours. I mean, you
yeah,
just blew it out of the water.
it became a beast and it took on a life of its own because about the time I started this is when I started my YouTube channel and I just wanted to see the effects. But then as I started building one by one, it's like, well, I could do this and it would make it a little more validative.
Well, the
Then I
thing
could
is,
do
you kept on
this.
adding control upon control upon
Yep.
control, and that's steps that I wouldn't have thought of until after the fact.
Yeah.
So you got them before the fact, and you actually reached out. What kind of controls can I do? You did it the right way, and my God, I'm very impressed with that. So
Thank you.
total kudos. I can't give you enough praise for your Cavendish.
Thanks, man.
And
So onto a different subject, JM Truth, he is traveling today, so he said he can't join.
Ah,
oh,
I was gonna ask if you had been able to get in touch with him by email about it.
I've been chatting with him on and off over the past week. And are we live?
Yes.
Out of
yeah,
curiosity. Okay. Um, I've been chatting with him on and off over the past week because I mean, from a soldier aspect, we did really kind of connect. I have absolutely no doubt about his military career, whether some of it is embellished, maybe, but honestly, who does not embellish some portions of their career, especially when they're trying to make a point that they feel they're validated for, doesn't make it right. But I don't question the basis for everything. So I don't agree with anything he says on science, but the purpose of the interview is just to understand him as a person.
well,
And
Wait a
we've been
minute. He
chatting on and
says
off over the past week, and I want to continue that conversation with him because I think he wants somebody in our community just to talk with
well.
because he's been
Here's my
very polite with me.
here's my contention with his DD 214
Mm,
is for months he's been talking about his military career and using his experience in the military, through education and actual experience as an authoritative person because of his training. And
mhm.
whenever his training gets brought up, the story is absolutely absurd or he changes it. And his DD 214 would have actually backed up his stories about his
Which
authoritative statements that he's been making.
that is the point that I was trying to make in my initial comment. It wasn't lambasting him for just showing the DD-214 in general. It's like, okay, yeah, you showed it to justify this one claim that an asshat was making against you. But what about everything else you said that is not personally identifiable information that is on there that could have substantiated everything else? And that's just what I was trying to point out, was that the way he did it did more harm than good because it raised more questions
Yes.
than it answered.
Well, it's like I pointed out in your live chat when you did your premiere. Um, he kept on going about how he had sniper training, and when pressed on it, he says, well, it was a modified sniper school. His DD 214 would have reflected that.
Exactly.
And when you actually had him in the interview, we find out that it's just a general weapons familiarization course, which, no, he's not going to take any kind of sniper training with that. He's going to get familiar with how the weapon operates, and that's it. And that says a lot that why he wouldn't show that on his DD 214, because it doesn't exist. It's just a general weapons course. And that's the kind of stuff that we wanted to see because of the stuff that he said in the past and tried to say that because of his specialized training in the military, which clearly is contradictory to what his interview had said.
Yeah.
So that's what we're questioning. We're not questioning on whether he was in the military or not. We're questioning his training in the military because he's using that as some kind of authority.
And like I told him in the interview, is if you use your education, your history, or your whatever as basis for your opinion, it opens that aspect of your life up to scrutiny.
And that's what we wanted. We wanted to scrutinize what he
Yep.
was asserting was his training. because he said, because of my training, I believe the earth is flat, is the type of attitude he had. And we wanted to verify he had that training to say that. And he screwed the pooch, to put it simply.
Ooh. So apparently there's some footage from the Oshkosh air shows last week that are quite fantastic. You know what? When we go off air, actually, you know what? I'll be honest. It'll be after I'm done streaming tonight that I'll actually go take a look at that. By the way, I don't think I'm going to be done until probably about 5 in the morning because movie night tends to do that when I'm a part of it.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
Jared,
I
it is
haven't been on
Friday.
the
My
panel for a
comment.
while.
I have the more accurate Top Gun trailer ready.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you do have that one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know what?
Damn it. I haven't even seen the first one yet.
So here's... Hey, we got a super chat from Mama Murder. Just showing some love. Military has and always will have a special place in my heart. You know, I'm not sure about some of the other people here, but one of the reasons why I chose to join and serve was partly family history and part because I needed to do something and I knew going to college right away out of high school was not a good choice for me.
And
much the
Mama
same here.
Murder, yeah, I'll take it. Some people say that I don't have a heart, so yeah, I'll take it.
Hey, Jared, I should have taken that same advice, but I did it the other way around, where I went to college and figured out it was something I shouldn't do right away, and then joined the military.
There.
Did you send the link to Robert yet, Jared?
I tagged him in Flight Ops. He should have access to it.
Hey, Sean, what was your MOS when you were in?
27 Sierra,
Which is...
satellite intelligence. Yes, I never I never got to see the lines anywhere. I was safely here in the States the entire time.
Yeah, I hit 20 years in about 2 weeks, and I just obligated myself to 2 years more.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, well, yeah, when you're that close to the 20-year mark and potentially retiring, that's why they tempt you with promotion, because it's like, hey, here you go. You want a little more? What? And here's the thing. They did that to my dad. And my dad was smart enough to ask, what's the catch? The catch was they wanted him to go back to a boat.
Do you have any idea what the pay increase from CW2 to CW3 is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Base pay plus housing allowance, $1,000 a month.
What?
Nice.
Damn.
Yes.
But keep in mind, Sean, it's also the time in. You were probably maxed out at CW2, weren't you?
Not quite. I think I would have had like 4 more years until it maxed.
Mm.
But yeah, how do you say no to that?
That is a very salient point, and so the history, the way my dad explained it to me is he put in his retirement package as soon as he could, just months before the 20-year mark. Big Navy came back and said, no, we don't have someone properly qualified to take your position. We cannot gap your billet. So you are upheld. So they held him for almost 3 years.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, they put him in stopgap.
Here's the thing. When you apply for retirement, you request retirement. It's on them. It's on the service to determine whether or not your request for retirement is approved. His came back, no, we still need you. And at the same time, it was not the next promotion cycle right after the request, but in the middle of that held extension, they dangled the second star in front of him. They were tempting him with E9.
Ooh.
And it was like, okay, what's the catch? Oh, we need to hold you for an additional 2 years, and we need you to go to Cobb School and go to a boat.
Who wants to go to Cobb School, really?
No.
I'm so happy we have, at least in the Army, have, well, it depends on where, but a 6-month contract that has to be renewed every 6 months, except for
We
when
don't-
if
we
you're
don't-
in what do you call it, wartime. Then you're
We don't
done.
have that
Then you're
here.
fucked. But 6 months, new contracts. So
The
they can't
smallest
fuck you over
contract
like
you
that
can
here.
sign here is a year, I think. Most people do 2-year enlistments, though.
Yeah.
I did a
And
6-year
what was that?
enlistment,
I don't remember.
and then I went year by year after.
Yeah, what was that?
And then
Anyone?
once-
I can't remember.
Then once you
What
get
was it?
over 10, you're indefinite. There is no time frame anymore. Once you hit 10, you're stuck till 20.
Ooh, where?
If you're E7 or above, and you like if your ETS date is at 11 years, and you're an E7,
I never
your
made it
only
that high.
your only re-enlistment option is indefinite. You can't ask for
Ooh.
2 or 3 years more.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have to put in retirement papers from there. I did know that.
Yep. So
I
you
did
could
know that.
technically retire before that, but then you don't get any retirement.
You don't
Yeah.
get your benefits.
Yep.
Well, you
It
still
looks like
get a
there's-
lot of the benefits. You don't get the financial until you hit 20.
Yeah, I want the financial.
Yeah, and that's
Looks
all
like-
changing now with the new retirement system.
Oh God.
What are they doing?
Yeah, the
I've
new-
been out too long.
the
I don't
new-
know.
The new retirement system is similar to 401k. So I'm stuck in the old system, but the newer guys coming in, if I can remember it right, their pension that they're earning month to month, they've got to pay into it. The Army matches it just like a 401k. And if they get out, that can be transferred to another pension. So at 10 years, even at 12 years, you can still get out and you're maintaining that pension you got. You're just not getting it right away. So it's loosening the tie people have to stay in until 20.
You're still active duty, correct?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
And you just put in for another 2?
Yeah, well, it's an obligation as soon as I pin CW3.
Yeah,
You have to
minimum.
do 2 more. Yeah, you owe
You're a
the
chief
Army. It's an
warrant?
ad, so. Yep.
You're a
Lucky
warrant?
you.
Nice. My uncle Jim was a CW4. CW4 or 5. He's the only one in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
the, fact
retired now.
the fact I'm not going to call you chief has nothing to do with lack of respect. It's just I'm not in anymore, so I don't have to.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call you Furball. My uncle hit his driver was the DC sniper. Did y'all know that? You know that? You remember that guy?
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
character witness for his trial and everything.
Mm.
For those out of the country, we had a wacko hanging out in the trunk of his car
Yeah, I remember that.
with a hole drilled out of it,
that-
shooting people at gas stations and shit all over
yeah.
Washington, D.C. And that guy was in the Louisiana National Guard, and he was my uncle's driver.
I think they made a either a documentary or they filmatized it.
There's several documentaries about it, actually.
Yeah.
It was crazy. They
I
could not
said-
figure out for days
Yeah, where
what was
the
going
hell it came
on.
from? Yeah.
Wasn't it like a 8-day streak that he ran on, or was it 9?
I think it was 7. It was 7 or 9. It wasn't 8.
And
It was
and he
9.
had
I
his
think
kid
you're
with
right.
him?
It's not his kid. He had somebody else's kid that he brainwashed and
Shit.
changed it, gave the dude a Muslim name and shit. And
Hmm.
yeah, the kid was driving around and just hanging out in the car while the other dude was in the trunk. And they had a hole drilled in the back of the car that fit the barrel, and another hole above it so he could
For the
see through his scope. And
Wasn't
they
it
even-
behind the license plate?
No, it was top right of the if
Brake
you're
light.
facing if you're facing the
Oh,
back
yeah,
of the
okay.
vehicle, it's your left side, but to him it would have been the right side of the vehicle from inside. And it was right between the brake light and the gas in the license plate.
Depending on the age, I wonder where that kid is now. Or
Oh, he's in
Hopefully-
prison too.
hopefully in
He was
prison.
an accomplice. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an accomplice. He's in
yeah, I know,
prison.
Yeah.
but
Oh, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, brother. That's the only place you go.
the kid, was he
Oh,
in
yeah.
the military?
Yeah, they were both former military.
Oh,
He was
All right.
19.
But they were,
some
they
shit
were
like
National
that.
Guard though, so they weren't active duty when it happened, so they weren't prosecuted by the government, by the military.
No, they were not. But I do believe that they ended up at Fort Leavenworth.
Yeah,
Well,
because there's a
as
federal
I
prison
understand
as
it,
well.
if you're in the U.S. military, it doesn't matter when you fuck up. You fuck up even worse if you are
It's
or
also
have been in a service.
it's
If you're not
also
on,
it's also at the discretion of the military prosecutor.
right,
They already
they
saw
can
the case and were like, dude, they're going to get fucked in the civilian court, and they're
leave it
already going to
alone.
go to the federal penitentiary at Leavenworth. So not the military side, the federal side. They were already going to be
It's
there.
worse.
So it's like, hey, you know what? You guys did this. Civilians have the case against you. We're not going to mess with it.
But when you're in the National Guard or Reserves, unless you're on active duty orders at the time, the military doesn't have jurisdiction to prosecute you. You have to actually be on orders for it to take effect. Now, that's one thing that has
They
changed
can take it
as
though,
of
right?
January. What's that?
They can supersede though, can't they?
No, you're not on orders. You're not subject to the UCMJ.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, it is. If you're not on orders, you're not subject. One thing that changed on January 1st with the most recent change to the UCMJ was last year, let's say you're driving to drill from your home in Arkansas to your drill location in Texas, and on Friday night you're driving there and you get a DUI. Old system last year,
You were
UCMJ
fucked.
did not UCMJ did not apply because you had not signed into drill. And even if you signed into drill on Saturday and then you signed out at 4:00 Saturday afternoon and then went and ran over somebody DUI, you're not on orders at that point. It's only
Gotcha.
when you were actively drilling. Now, what the standard is because they amended UCMJ Title I for what constitutes on orders, and it's from the time you start transit to your drill location until you return home.
Yeah,
Does that make
essentially your
you,
billable
does that
time.
make you, but does that make you also available? So if you're National Guard, would you also be under health benefits if you were to get in an accident in that situation?
Yes.
I would assume so, yeah.
I had that problem when I was in.
If they are holding you to the UCMJ during your transit time, which I'm surprised they didn't do that all along because
Right.
you are traveling for the purpose of your obligated service. Then coverage should apply. Full coverage across the board should apply for that travel time. Because when you get there, you file a travel claim for your time to get there, right?
Well,
Yes,
it's not. I don't.
I got per
Can you
diem
file a
and
travel
everything.
claim when you're traveling to your duty location?
Yeah, if you're outside of 100
Oh.
miles of your duty station in the guard, at least in the Louisiana Guard, you can file. You get travel, and they're supposed to give you a hotel and shit, but they never did that. They would just have you sleep at the unit.
Now, Title I, a UCMJ actually wouldn't apply to the National Guard. It would just be reserve. So that might be different because even if you're a National Guard member, you're not subject to the federal UCMJ. Even on weekend drill, you're subject to the state UCMJ.
Right.
I
only
got, I
when
got
you
a
get
question for you
federal
for all
order.
this completely going to derail the topic, but I
Yeah.
get the impression you were a recruiter for a while.
No, I've just been dealing with how to prosecute people for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I was going to say no. He has experience on the legal side of it from a different avenue.
Well, I was
Yeah.
actually going by his mannerisms and the way he speaks. He actually gives me the recruiter vibe.
Well, fuck you, Sean.
Yeah, that's not a compliment.
Oh, he
bro.
meant it in a loving way.
Don't thank me, thank your recruiter.
Yeah. Never take saying somebody was a recruiter as a compliment. Never do that.
It's not.
There's a lot of bad
Yeah.
blood with recruiters.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
the
calling him a
feedback at the-
used
at the
car
troopers.
salesman.
I'm just saying the way he carries himself, he actually throws off a slight recruiter vibe, and I was wanting to verify that.
Well, I do recruit for my own organization, but not to join the army
Okay.
because I've got to con people into being a CID agent.
You got,
Okay,
you
I'll
got
forgive
recruitment
you.
in your blood.
Yeah. Well, and you know what, Sean? It's funny you mention that. Just a little brief personal history. I was born in Virginia a month after my dad pinned on Chief. Before I was 6 months old, we were relocated to outside of Detroit, Michigan. Think about that. Navy, E7, transferred from Virginia Beach to Detroit, Michigan. Take a wild guess what he was on.
Recruiter?
He was a recruiter. And my dad both loved and hated it. His car had all 4 tires stolen twice.
It's a bitch, man.
It's fucking Detroit in the early 80s.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh.
But the part he loved was the performance he had and the commendations that came with it. Detroit consistently missed their recruiting numbers prior to his arrival.
I think Detroit missed a lot of numbers, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But
GM bailout. Oh, sorry.
but during his time there as a recruiter, the recruiting numbers got to where they should have been and then started exceeding them.
So he was good at blowing smoke.
Oh no, he was good at explaining to people, "Oh, you want out of this hellhole? Come here."
So he was good at blowing smoke.
Well, here's the thing. My dad gave me his recruiting pitch, and here's the thing. He didn't pull punches. He said, "Yeah, parts are going to suck. Parts are going to be difficult." But then he told me, it's like, what I would point out to them is, you don't have to worry about getting shot in the Navy.
Yeah, Navy basic training.
Tell that to the World War.
Navy basic
Tell
training.
that to
Do
the World
some
War II
aerobics and see if you can swim with your clothes on. There you go.
This was 1983 to 1985 Navy.
Oh, what year? How old was my brother? Because my brother was in the Navy. I'm trying to see if it was the same years.
I was just a twinkle in my daddy's eyes.
You kid.
Yeah, I'm 32. I'm a baby.
You whippersnapper.
I'm 41, but as logical troglodyte, I think he's been pointing out,
Yeah,
I look like I'm 25.
We've
He
been
give you
bitching
that
about
much?
you ever When I first saw you, I thought you were like at very most my age. When you told us you were 41 on the live stream, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Do you forget the Benjamin Button tag that he had on Discord for a while?
Hey, I'm happy. I'll be 48 in a couple of weeks. So
No, you look younger than that too, so we're good.
hey, I get carded when I
Hey.
shave.
All I want is glorious hair like yours when I'm 48.
Well, it's got to grow back. It's down to my shoulders now, so it'll get there.
So
Yeah, luckily, I'm in a field where I don't have to shave or to cut my hair very often because I rarely ever wear a uniform. And generally, when I do actually get a military haircut, people literally don't recognize me because I let it go so far.
Baby furball, Quickie says.
So for people in the live chat, yes, in the Navy, you can be in harm's way. But here's the thing. Recruiting technique for inner city kids who were also considering the Marines and Army.
Yeah, you definitely got better chances in the Navy.
So that's the thing is, my dad wasn't entirely wrong because keep in mind, the Navy also had another saying, still does, choose your rate, choose your fate. I mean, if you pick a rate where you end up on a little tin can, then yeah, you have a higher chance of being in harm's way.
Who's Kitty debating tomorrow?
I honestly can't remember. And actually,
Schrodinger.
I'm surprised you're not in here.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's like, why is he in chat and not in here? Who are you debating tomorrow night, man?
Come on, Schrodinger, come on in here. And actually, while we wait for that cat to show up, for those who are watching, we have had a silent member of the panel who may seem to be an unorthodox addition to the panel, but that's because he has an event going on. He has something coming up that he wanted to advertise out to as many people as possible, so he asked if he could do it here on VTW, and honestly, anything to help out a fellow content creator in a positive way, I am all about. So, Casual Spaceman, if you want to tell everyone what you have going on, the floor is yours.
Yeah, certainly will. Thanks very much for having me on. First of all, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm certainly not a vet.
That's a thing.
Yeah. So basically, the idea, the event is going to be basically going to be a quiz, a science-based quiz. Not necessarily science-based, but probably in the most part. And so far, I can't really name names at the moment because they're not confirmed. Because I said I'm not sure exactly when this is going to happen, but hopefully sometime in September. Obviously, after I reached 1,000 subscribers. So there's two at least on the UK side. So what I'm planning to do is like a UK versus America or North America, because I've already got one guy who said he's involved, but he's not American, he's Canadian. So I thought maybe, I don't know.
We saw how that turned out when it was Apollo program.
Yeah.
UK didn't.
Yeah. Let's pick the topic of the quiz show wisely on that one, huh?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I know. That's what they better not let me down this time. I'll tell you. I was fuming. After that. So yeah, one of them has agreed. I'm not going to mention who was on the Apollo quiz. I might add. But this is going to be more general sort of science based. So yeah, UK versus US, and the way I thought would work it is that that it would be split 60-40, and how we decide is who wins. So if Team US wins, it will go to the 60% will go to the US charity, and if obviously the other way around, if it go to the UK. So really, I'm just sort of getting the idea out there at the moment, letting people know that it's going to happen, and really, and just sort of perhaps you guys, how you can maybe support it, because it's not going to just be one event. I want to make it sort of like a series over perhaps a week or 2 weeks or whatever as well, because I've found that in the past when you do just like one event, you don't really raise as much money, and you don't really get the same sort of coverage as you would with just one event rather than sort of like several others. So I don't know whether you guys would be able to support it in some way or help in some way or do something towards it, perhaps as an after show later on, days down the line or the next week, or I don't know, whatever you can do to help. Really appreciate it. I want to make it as big as possible and raise as much money as possible. So I just wonder what you guys think of it and whether you can help out or not.
Well, I'm definitely down to help out, either as a contestant on one or so I'm thinking if you do 2 quiz shows and have the schedule for each one be suitable for either market, either side of the world, then that would help maximize the potential for people being able to watch. And with that, you then, again, maximize the potential for donations to the charities plus the pot that is being competed for. Now, in addition to that, you could then follow it up with either, depending on the time that the quiz show happens, either immediately following or a reasonable time after, an after show that any proceeds would then also go to the collective pot for both charities as well. And now that my channel is actually monetized, whether I'm a part of the quiz show or not, I'd be willing to host one or at least one of the after shows, and just that. any ad revenue, any super chats from that event, from that show, will go to either or both of the charities that are picked.
Well, that sounds good. Well, you said that you'd be happy to be on the quiz, so I'm going to hold you to that, Jared. So I've got you there. Go back out that one. So yeah, no, that's some good suggestions. I mean, I've already spoken to the Shills about it, and they seem quite keen to actually do an after show straight after. Obviously, depending on what time it was as well. But I mean, I know you guys actually go on usually quite a lot later than they would do. So I'll be more than happy that if you did something on the same night or something. I'm happy with any kind of suggestion, any way you can guys help. So yeah, that's some great suggestions.
Anyone else have any feedback? I mean, the question was put out to the entire panel.
Yeah,
that it's a great idea. I love the thought of charity streams. It's sad that they don't always do as good as you hope they would, but if we can pump it up enough beforehand and maybe do a couple streams beforehand to show what the actual charities are that each side has picked, I think it would be a great thing. I'll be on the panel. I'll probably perform as well as Team UK did last time, but I'll gladly be on the panel and support any way I can.
Fantastic. Yeah, excellent. Okay, I'll hold you to that as well. I'm hoping actually I don't want to have too many people on the panel, but I'm thinking maybe 3 versus 3. I don't know what people think of that about, or maybe 2 versus 2 might be better, or 4 versus 4. I'm not sure. I don't know what you guys think. But 3 versus 3 kind of sprung to mind.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, Kat.
Hey,
okay,
sorry,
so the cat does live.
Hey, Cat. I heard you guys a few minutes ago, but I was tied up with wife duty. I'm debating a gentleman named Matthias. He seems to be a particularly angry flat earther. His full YouTube name is Matthias the Walking Witness, I believe.
Oh, he sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's been on Jose's show a few times. And so originally Big Blue was going to be the moderator on Craig's show. And Big Blue sent me an email and said that he doesn't think he could be impartial with this guy. So
is that a request? I want moderator. I want somebody that's going to hold me to account. Again, is that a request?
You do realize Sean is pretty much the guru of proper moderation amongst this community, right?
and I understood that, and I we're at the front of my mind, Sean. But I honestly, God damn it hurts me to say this. I thought that you were beyond my reach.
No.
So.
Anybody can reach out to me. I don't care who they are. And I've had no beef with you ever, so.
Oh no, and no one ever would. Who could, who have I ever offended?
Well, there's flat earthers out there, so.
Oh yeah, well, all of them. So.
No, I am totally reachable. I mean, any request you want to send to me, even if it's not about moderation, if you want to reach out, feel free.
Well,
I mean.
Well, I was reaching out to people who I've been in touch with, and trying to, because there's different. It's almost like a concentric circles. We have our little circles, and then they intersect with bigger circles.
Right.
And you are, in fact, I would say, in probably one of the bigger circles that I'm in. And so I wanted to, because this is going to be on Craig's channel, so I wanted to reach out to someone who's in a similar circle that I'm in. So Logical Troglodyte is going to be the moderator.
I'm actually looking at his responses in chat. If you can't see the chat, I'm going to quote him. Says,
can't.
At Schrodinger's cat, it's your call, man. It won't hurt my feelings. Immediately followed by 1 minute later with, don't pass up a chance for Sean if you want to grab it, cat.
Well, I would like to, even though Logical Troglodyte's in a bigger circle than I'm in, but
it's not about circles. It's about how well you know somebody as a moderator. I've never seen Troglodyte moderate anything so far, so I can't. I'm very, very judgmental on moderators, period. I mean, Craig's found that out the hard way.
And I've heard you, not moderate, but review my debates, and you are very, very fair. And
I think you're talking about is it Bob the Science Guy?
No,
I don't usually review debates.
Well, no. So he came to you.
You have held me to account on
okay. Yeah.
my debate performance, but and yeah, I would love to have you as a moderator, and sent Logical Troglodyte an email earlier today and said, hold me to the exact same standard as my opponent, and I want to afford him that opportunity.
Yeah, because when I have good friends on here, and when we're not in a debate format, I am very, very biased. I will not deny that. But as a moderator, I know how to sit back and not push my opinion into the debate. That's not what I'm there for.
And I would be that exact same way. And that's what I expect. And to be
fair, and just up front, I'm usually harder on the people I actually side with, just to make sure that the opponent doesn't have the ability to say, well, you weren't treating me fairly. You're treating me harder than your friend.
Exactly.
I'm actually more strict on the person that I side with to avoid that issue.
Exactly. And I hope I'm held to that same standard tomorrow night.
Yeah, when I'm in to moderate, I'm leaving friendship out of it. I mean, I'm there for a job. I see it as a job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if Troglodyte wants to step aside for this and he's fine with that, and you want me as your moderator, I will be more than happy to step in. If Troglodyte decides that he still wants to moderate, I won't be mad at Troglodyte. I mean, that's up to you and him at this point. If you want me in, you guys discuss it and decide if you want me to take his place or not. And I'll hold no grudges. I'll hold no favoritism either way it goes.
And no, I think now
you cut out for a second.
Well, the thing is, now I'm in a spot because I'd rather give him this opportunity.
No way, Mr. Brogan. You made this.
I'm actually trying to leave you out of a spot because I'm leaving the decision between you and him. I mean, I'm not going to hold any feelings either way because you've already actually asked him first. So it won't affect me either way if he wants to, if you still have it as a moderator or if he chooses me. It doesn't matter. But that's a decision you guys need to come up with between yourselves. I'm available if you want me. I'll just say that.
From the live chat, Heat Shield says, I've heard Sean verbally bitch slap a good friend in the case for fair moderation.
Yes.
It's happened more than once.
Yeah. Yeah. I've berated a few people because of bad moderation.
I can vouch for that.
I will stick with, if it's all the same to everyone involved, I will stick with Logical Troglodyte.
Okay. That's fine.
Because
again, no bad will.
Well, we already had someone who I consider a friend step aside because he just said I can't deal. I believe I have the email. I believe he called him a cocksucker. He said I cannot deal.
I'll just say this. I will be watching the debate. Obviously, Troglodyte, do it right. Otherwise, face the wrath of Sean.
Oh yeah.
Well,
and Sean, I don't know if you remember this, but you have held me to account on my debating skills in the past.
Yeah.
Well, and I wouldn't even call it the wrath of Sean. It's proper constructive criticism for your performance, either as a debater or a moderator, which anyone who is interested in getting better, you want as fair and as honest, and in some cases as brutal of a review and criticism as you can get, because the more factual in that manner the criticism, the better you're going to learn from it, and the better you should perform the next time.
Just do me a favor, Schrodinger. Before you actually go live tomorrow, while you have Craig pinned down, you know how I reviewed your debate. Ask Craig what I did to him when I was reviewing his moderation. He had it 100 times worse than what I gave to you.
Oh no, I've watched. I watch it each and every time, and I think I've seen the after shows, and I've heard your wrath.
Yeah,
And-
Craig was actually the recipient of the toughest love I possibly have given to somebody, because he screwed up that bad for that moderation. It absolutely made me vitriolic. It was bad. But Craig still respects me. I still respect him. He just didn't moderate to my standard, and it absolutely offended me.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a pretty laid back guy, and I prefer to hold back and hold my fire until I see the whites of my opponent's eye.
Hey, Jared.
Yep.
Did the Wrath of Sean occur on SETI Alpha 5 or SETI Alpha 6?
The Wrath of Sean, that would have been City Alpha 6.
If only it was
okay.
Tau City Alpha. But,
Had I been in that hangout for that debate, had I been in that
I
hangout,
know. It sucks.
had I been in the hangout for the debate with Fight the Flat Earth as the moderator, you would have heard me say, "No!"
Hey, BM Furball, I'm so glad you're here, because I saw
Hey, what's
I saw your talk with JM Truth, and I just
Yeah.
left a little snippet in his chat section and said, what you're saying doesn't ring as true. And he wrote back, I'm not too worried about that. And so I wrote back, you spelled "two" wrong, because he spelled it T-O instead of T-O-O.
Rider of Dinosaurs, if you're out there, we have more material for you.
Schrodinger, you got me on
least-
Discord, right? I think you do.
I'm not sure. I'm the worst Discord person ever.
I don't even have it running most of the time. I only
Yeah.
started up when somebody actually tells me to look at Discord.
Somebody can probably look that up real fast. I'm on my phone, so
I'm going to correct William Signs right now. He says that bad moderators, aka traders in the community, give flat earthers equal time. I'm going to seriously correct that, because a bad moderator will not give people equal time.
Yep.
Because that shows favoritism one way or the other. Everybody has to have equal footing, and a moderator is there to make sure that happens.
And
Oh,
I
yeah,
would say,
no.
even if the one party getting extra time is someone who has never debated before, and you're giving him extra leeway because of that, even that
Yeah.
would be unfair.
Oh,
Because if you want,
No,
to
I
debate
want
somebody,
to
you
be.
better have to be ready for it.
okay. Just as an example of how bad I am at Discord.
I want to be held to account 100% as equal to my opponent.
Just to explain how bad I am with Discord. Schrodinger's cat on 7/25/2019 asked me, "Would you be interested in moderating a debate for me on Craig's channel?" I never saw the message because I don't have the damn thing running. So you actually asked me, but I never saw it.
Yeah, see, there's a reason why most of my messages to Sean go through Hangouts.
Yeah, Hangouts is the surefire way to get a hold of me. Discord, not so much, unless you tell me in some other way that I need to check my Discord, because I don't like the notifications that it always pops up with, so I leave it shut down.
Until
Yeah,
Google
that
decides
debate
to
never
shut
happened
down
anyway.
that too.
Yeah, well, I was preparing for that debate, and I thought, who is the best moderator that I know? And that's when I sent you that message. and he wouldn't do it because he wouldn't give me more than 2 days notice. And I said, well, screw you, because I want to prepare for a debate, and I want to give Craig a reasonable time to set it up. And he said, well, no, you can have 2 days notice. And I was like, well, fuck you then. We're not going to do it. I actually made an entire video on my account about that.
Logical Troglodyte, we're going to save some time here. Here you go. I just sent you a message on Discord.
Because now that we're talking about it, he actually has the fucking thing open.
Well, I just don't want him to pass out his email publicly.
Yeah.
So that he can
if he wants to
respond
send the email over Discord, that might work. But again, I don't watch Discord, so if you want to put your email there, well, I'll just do this.
Hello, everybody.
Make sure I spelled it right. I just gave him my email in Discord, so you can email me there if you ever need to get a hold of me, or find me on Google Hangouts and you can send me messages on that. And like I said, Hangouts is the surefire way to actually contact me.
Yeah, but that is true that I did first fire off an email to you about that one debate that never actually came to fruition.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, you do have me on Discord. So if you ever send me a message on that, again, Schrodinger, just make sure you get some other way to tell me to look at Discord, because again, I don't have it running.
Oh yeah,
Discord
well, and
to contact each other on Discord. Magnificent.
Yeah, Discord's weird to me. I've really got to sit down one day and figure it out. But yeah, Sean, you and I have talked many times back and forth.
Yeah. Most of your messages to me were invites to various Discord servers.
Well, no, you and I talked back when, oh Jesus, a couple of times on here on Friday night.
Back on September 8th of 2018, it was a good talk after apparently a hangout. Yep.
Right? Yeah. We've talked many times.
Yeah, I mean we've been in hangouts many times together. That's not an issue.
Yeah, I'm probably just forgettable because.
Dude, I know who you are. I've known who you are for a long time. It's just we never really, we've never one-on-one except one time on Discord.
Oh well, here we go. Fist bump.
Who was talking? Who's talking again? I have no idea. Who's talking?
Somebody's talking.
That would be the voice of
over me as I'm trying to fist bump Sean.
Oh. Yeah,
I was
Sean,
talking about-
He may or may not have been talking.
Yeah, Sean was talking
yeah.
to that semi, not maybe zombie cats.
I was gonna say, I guess it depends on the on whether you're alive or not, as to whether we're in the reality, whether you're talking or not talking.
That joke is so old. That joke is so old about my name.
You're the one that the name.
I hate all of you. Okay.
Now he may have picked the name. He may not have. We just can never tell.
You will never know.
Allegedly.
So, for fuck's sake, Sean Hubbard,
Allegedly.
fist bump.
Fist bump.
Okay, we have fist bumps, so now we're best friends. All right, so go on, people, and
that's how it
watch
works.
my.
Hey, as long as
debate.
you weren't a Marine, we're good.
No, I was a sailor.
Well, that's,
He's on the good team,
You're
Sean.
halfway
You
there.
should know that. He's on the good team.
Oh boy.
Just watch my goddamn debate tomorrow night, people.
we will.
He's the only sailor that had the balls enough to stick around till the end, though.
What do you mean? Retirement?
Yeah.
See, when you talk about the Navy and balls, there's so many jokes that I just don't know where to start. Whose are they, and give them back?
I would say start at the bottom of the shaft.
Oh, remember, you only like the nugget. Guess you had to be on Team Skeptics show for that one.
Hey, weren't we gonna be watching the alternative preview for Top Gun 2?
Well, so here's the thing. If we show it, monetization becomes much more difficult because of the content ID aspect of it.
Fine,
That's
I'll
where
just share the link.
yeah.
I have an
Well, I would say that-
alternate. I have an alternate proposal. Can we watch the most recent video from my debate opponent tomorrow night?
I want to see who this dude is, so I vote for that.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of those things.
It's 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes long. And his name is Matthias, the Walking Witness, if I remember correctly. And remember, I'm on my phone.
What kind of screwed up name is that?
I don't know, but it's M-A-T-I...
I'm pissed off that I didn't think of it first.
It's math, M-A-T-H-I-E-U-S, the Walking Witness.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you knew what I was gonna say.
I could have been skeptic, the walking penis, this whole time.
Yeah. Now without a join link.
When you see this guy's video, you're going to see how difficult my preparation has been.
To not laugh,
I'm sure it involved just slamming your head into a tree and getting used to the pain.
I don't even know what to do with. Just watch this 3-minute video.
So
Well,
I
I'll tell you,
proposed
if
an
you-
alternative type of game
It's a real
a couple
concentrated
days ago on one of my chats. I say that we play a game, maybe not today, but I was going to suggest this to Casual Spaceman. It's called 60-Second Google, where we watch his video and somebody buzzes in, and you have 60 seconds to correct the answer with nothing but Google.
That's
I like it.
I actually like that.
Because that's how easy it is to bunk their
That's actually
bullshit.
pretty good.
The thing is, this guy says that I cannot use Google as a rebuttal to anything he says.
Here's the answer to that. Use Bing.
No, I was going to use Yahoo.
No, well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If he asks, where did you get that? Don't give the search engine that you used. Give the actual citation of the information.
Hey, Kat, what's the name of that channel again?
Matthius, the Walking Witness.
Use web crawler. Nobody uses web crawler. no, Lycos. Lycos.
I'm positive that Bing is actually nothing but page 17 of Google. Because I have never found what I'm looking for on Bing on the first page.
Really? I find everything on Bing.
Think about it. The latest, it's not out yet, but the latest browser from Microsoft is based on Google OS.
Edge. It's going to be using the Chromium engine. Yeah.
Exactly. So
it's still in beta though.
Yeah, but I mean, I have it. It works fine actually, but it's not far off.
Hey, Kat, what is the name of the latest video? Maps, a tool used to construct a false reality.
Yes, please play that.
Oh God, it already hurts, and I'm just looking at the first frame.
No, just please play it, and that's already a link that I've sent to Craig. That's
going to be
really
really
part of my
Kat,
stupid, isn't
you
it?
realize I'm going to send you my medical bill.
Let's just watch this. No, don't play the audio. Do not play the audio.
Oh God, he's a red pillar.
Yeah, just play the video.
Okay.
Oh.
This is going to be really concentrated stupid, isn't it?
Yes.
Those are some beautiful crepuscular rays.
I have a picture. I have a picture similar to that in my computer.
Yeah. So okay, and all right, I'm interested to know the drivel that he's talking about.
The Faroe Islands. The Philippines.
Okay, weird that picture of Sweden. Whoops.
That was Faroe Islands, I think.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it was inverted.
I just
There you go
said,
again.
stand
It's
by,
inverted.
stand by. It gets dumber.
Why is it inverted? Just why?
Because he's stupid and doesn't know
I'm
how
kind
to
of
screen
curious.
cap?
Does he have a thing for well, does he have a thing for lady boys? Because he sure does have a Philippines up.
Stand by, it gets dumber.
Oh,
I wonder if he's too stupid to flat Earth. That's a tall order, but hey.
So he's conflating distortion of taking a 3-dimensional object and trying to make it on a 2-dimensional representation.
Oh, we have never seen
And
that
he
before.
debunks himself at the
No,
end.
come on.
It gets dumber. Please stand
No.
by.
Africa and no, come on.
Oh,
Okay.
I know where he's going.
I know where he's
Africa,
going.
Greenland, or was it Greenland?
Yeah, it's Greenland.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wow.
I will be back in a moment, people.
Yeah. Anybody? Just for safety concerns.
What the fuck is this?
Picture your.
Do we not understand rotation?
Oh my god.
It gets dumber.
What?
Holy shit! We're not even we're not even halfway in. Fuck the facepalm protection. Everyone, go get the biggest fucking pillow you can find.
We are not at maximum dumb.
Are you suggesting people smother themselves, Jared?
really
Please be
seriously.
specific.
Hey, I'm just
Jared,
saying.
I'm
just
ready
saying.
now. I'm ready.
I'm.
I'm ready now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm ready to yell. I'm ready to yell. Fucking drink.
What I think is a 15-pound master key. It's what, almost 3 foot long. Maybe I should use that instead to hit myself with.
I'm afraid to look at the live chat. What?
Oh, there's a lot of fucking laughter. Skydog, damn, broke my keyboard and my nose.
Wait.
Okay. We have to hear the audio on this one. How the fuck does he make this?
No, it's only copywritten music. Don't play the audio.
Oh, he's only playing music?
Okay.
No, there's no audio. There's just this. That's why it's so stupid.
What in the wow?
Italy's supposed to be a boot.
So he's trying to say that the old lady is
Europe
on the side.
Mainland.
It gets better.
Wow.
This is supposed to be Sylvester?
Severe.
So he gets even pareidolia wrong?
Yeah, no kidding.
Just play it and watch.
Okay, that was actually that was.
We're
That was
playing
pretty
it
accurate.
and watching it.
shit.
No, just no.
Pause for a second here. Would I be completely wrong in saying that, at least for this video, maybe in a couple of years, but for this video specifically, this is even too stupid to be used on movie night?
Oh, agreed. And you know what, Cliff Reynolds, Cliff Reynolds said this shit is so stupid it got me pregnant, and I'm a dude.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna send this.
This probably could be used in movie night if you broke it up into like several parts.
He's redoing the same. What the?
Oh, Mom.
Is it one or the other?
Shit.
What the? And then what the fuck?
Okay, we got a weird ass cockatoo or something.
Asia.
Okay.
Oh, that's going for Asia.
Yeah, China specifically.
Or, Australia. Yeah. Australia. I'm thinking Australia here.
Chocobo.
Or maybe Russia.
Maybe Russia.
Yeah, that's from Final Fantasy.
Oh, this is getting exciting. Come on.
You know, I could give my cat Ritalin and give him access to my computer, and he could capture.
So
Wow.
I guess this is why you don't use meth, PCP, inhale lighter gas.
The butane,
Yeah.
and don't drink urine. Which, you know what? Someone mentioned it's Pete Shea's dodo. Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow!
Wow!
Fermented urine. You need that.
Oh,
I can't think anymore. You need that ammonia within there too.
So here's my question: how do I even prepare for this debate?
You don't just drink. Well, not even drink. But,
So if I may read a quote, what you just said is one of the most insane, idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you ever even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Did I thankfully miss all of it?
Yes.
My recommendation on how to
Sean.
prepare
Billy
is
Madison.
go to Puerto Rico and get some 190 proof Puerto Rican rum.
Right.
Well, I wanted to see it, so we got to watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Or medical
think
grade
Sean
nitrous
Hufford-
oxide.
Oh,
Sean
jeez.
Hufford, you dodged a bullet. Like, if you rewatch what we just
I
watched,
had to
you
go down
dodged a
and pick up
bullet.
the delivery, so I lucked out.
Oh,
He
Why
didn't
do you want
dodge
to reload that
shit
gun and
because
put
I'm
it
putting
down?
out
all right,
Yeah.
yellow.
hang on. Jay, put it at double speed, and we're just gonna sit and listen to Sean.
Just let it play.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play it again, double speed for him.
All right, ready?
No.
Okay.
Get your oven mitt ready.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it.
And so you know, all that it does is play copyrighted music. There's no explanation to the pictures.
So he's comparing the the Mercator versus the Gall Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god!
Cardolia gone wrong. Well,
No, that comes up in a second.
Cardolia gone wrong.
Don't worry, Sean. It hasn't got really stupid yet.
Oh, it's there though.
Now
Watch
it's
this.
there.
Watch this.
What?
Oh, it gets better.
Oh, we should have done a reaction video.
What?
Show this to people that haven't seen it before. Just record their faces.
Oh, I'm so glad the camera's not turned on. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, we're done with this guy.
Oh,
We're done. Shut it
No,
off. No. End
you
it.
gotta watch
End it.
the half an hour.
No,
Or half
end
an
it.
hour, or 30 seconds.
So, hey,
We
Kat,
we suffered at normal speed too. So
yeah. Hey, Kat, have you actually spoken to the guy yet, as in voice?
So he's a dodo guy.
I only spoke to him long enough to explain to him how to use his email so that I could actually engage in a debate with him.
Yeah, but
Because
but
he
not
didn't
by
know how to
voice
use
or chat?
email.
Yeah, but by voice or text?
Oh no, by voice on Jose's show.
So
Okay,
he's
does
a
he sound
Piche
like a Piche?
clone. He's a Piche clone that just thinks pareidolia is not a thing.
Right, but if you look at the end of that video that we just looked at the end of it, he shows an explanation that destroys his whole argument.
Oh no. You know what? I think the best advice just came from Steve Lewis in the chat for you there, Kat. If you really want to prepare for this guy, go to the Ill Will Press YouTube account, Foamy the Squirrel, watch a bunch of his rants, and try to channel your inner Foamy when trying to explain shit to this guy.
I'm of the opinion that there's not going to be any explaining to this guy.
I'll just say good luck tomorrow, Schrodinger.
So, Sean, are you glad you passed it off to Logical Troglodyte after all?
Oh.
Well, no, it was originally Big Blue from Blue Marble Science.
I'll just say I'm happy that I don't have to stay muted.
Sean, how hard would you have to hold in the "what the fuck are you talking about"?
Oh, there's always a new bar to place. I'll just say that.
Oh God! I just started listening to the video with audio this time. Oh God!
The thing is, he plays copyrighted music to all of his videos that I've seen so far.
And this one, it sounds like he's speeding up the song, so it's less likely to be caught.
And yes.
Hey, Jared.
Well,
look at the comment section in that for that video.
My wife just got through watching that. My wife just got through watching video, and she's like, "What the fuck was that supposed to be?" Sylvester Tweety and Greenie all in.
Well, hold on.
Sylvester and Giant Tweety.
Please don't go too much into the.
Don't try to think of an explanation because there is none.
Yeah. Do not try to make sense of it. Yeah.
Don't go too much into the chat because I've got a few gems of his chats that I have screen captured.
Okay.
I'm gonna go under your feet.
So Jay Sherman asks, would anyone like to revisit their stance on who deserves equal time? For comedic value, no, because I really think at some point this debate is going to turn into just point and laugh.
Well, the bigger question here, and it's actually a concern for Craig, is this Matthias dude going to actually speak, or is whenever it's his turn, he's going to play, slides and copyrighted music?
Well, and I've already addressed that with be prepared with the mute button. And there's several screen captures I have of this guy's chats that or comments that I have screen captured that he's going to have to do some explaining for, because he's not a big fan of the let's say Israelis.
Oh God.
Again, point and laugh.
Yep, especially as I am of the Israeli persuasion.
Can I have this app?
Vic Tunes.
Steve Lewis.
Yeah, both of them. So Steve Lewis, that shit was so stupid. My dog started drinking, rubbing alcohol. Vic Tunes, I'm going to jump out of the window. The horror. The utter horror. I can't look at Sylvester the same way. And I love Sylvester. Yeah.
Who knew that Sylvester was behind all of the global conspiracies about flat Earth?
And that old lady, she was so nice.
Should we just rename him England? Isn't that what he was? He represented England, right?
No, Scandinavia.
Oh, it's Scandinavia? Yeah. Oh. Same shit.
It's all Europe.
Yeah. It's all like...
Hear his voice, I can find out what nation he is from.
England's all like the size of New Jersey.
And I've always had this question with flat earthers, like, how do you get from here to there? Like, how
drugs.
Do you
lots of
make
drugs
these
or the lack of drugs,
like dislocated juxtapositions? Like, how do you do that?
How much drugs? All the drugs.
All of them.
How often? Once.
Wait, what drug are you?
Just the whole time.
No, it's one of those. Ask him, what drug are you on? And his answer is yes.
And of course, his about page for the YouTube: free thinker, yeah, right, truth seeker, and lie exposer.
Well, he has already threatened. He's already threatened to rage quit and then claim victory. I have the email to prove it.
Isn't that in the manual somewhere?
So he's going to rage quit before he even starts?
Does he have?
Oh no,
Too many?
No, he's got
59.
57, 59?
59.
To-
Yeah, 59
okay,
right now.
59.
So too many?
Yeah, he has 1,458 views at the moment.
Yeah, he has already told me that he will rage quit and then claim victory if I don't bring what he calls my own science. And I don't know what that means, but I'm ready to address
You
that.
can't show something that you haven't done, probably.
No, yeah. He's going to go the hard solipsist route of, well, what have you done? No, not what have you researched. What have you done yourself?
I already have that covered.
Oh,
hey, Jared, can we play with his emotions? So you said that he's at 50-some subs? We've got 54 people watching right now. If everybody in here went and subbed him, he would instantly go over 100, get extremely excited,
and then
2 minutes
unsub.
later, everybody unsub.
All right,
please,
I'm on board.
please do it.
I'm on board.
You know what? I cannot condone the action, but I know my audience is like Red's Rhetoric's audience in his live chat. I can't tell you fuckers what you can or can't do. You're going to do your own thing. So it's on you guys. If you want to do it, I'm not saying you should, and I physically cannot stop you.
So nobody do that. Remember, nobody's do that.
I can't be sure, but this guy may be a 9/11 quote truther unquote.
Does that
Why not?
surprise you?
No.
So
Based
if
on
I
a
were to
video,
not do that,
4 months ago.
what link would I need to not do that?
Hold on.
All I'm saying
someone
is-
else post it because
All I'm saying is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Craig's channel tomorrow night.
So you should totally not go to this channel and
Plausible deniability.
come on, load up.
I'm just going to say this once. Furnace Cat, thank you for sticking with the logical troglodyte.
What, John? I thought you liked getting challenges.
So
I'm
people.
just saying, I could do it.
Is
It would just be incredibly hard.
Painful.
the only thing I'm saying is don't do what AT2
67.
just may or may not have said to do or not to do.
He's at 68.
Hold on. 70.
71.
Oh shit.
Hold on. Here we go. Is this good entertainment for everybody?
I'm.
Are you not entertained?
I'm showing his main page, and he's at 71.
72. I've got a social blade going.
Oh jeez.
75.
You guys are assholes.
What else is new?
Now he needs to stay at triple digits just long enough
to get that email.
to start sniffing his own farts.
He already.
It's almost like y'all are military people.
What's funny is that 100 get an email from YouTube saying, "Congratulations, you've done your first step," and then it's going
Yeah,
to
I
go
just
away.
got that email myself the other day.
You know, if I could be a fly on the wall just for 1 minute, it would be on next to this guy when he watches this the first time.
I just wanted to be. I wanted to be
getting
known.
emails about it though.
I want it to be known to everyone watching. I never said I wasn't an asshole.
Well, here's what's funny. He sent me an email and he CC'd Craig and he said he wanted a link to the debate. This was like 5 days ago. He said he wanted to debate because his family and friends wanted to know what a heliocentric.
I'm blocking it from the public.
Hold on, folks. He said he wanted to know what him and his friends and family want to know what a heliocentric. They wanted to get into the mind of someone who was heliocentric, as if we were like rare. And my response was, "What? Like, everybody's heliocentric."
Yeah, I mean, he has several. Several videos about heliocentrism. So it's not exactly because he doesn't know what it is.
Right, but he said that. Maybe I should copy and paste that into the debate. He said it as if we are like
an
rare
odd creature to him.
Right. He said,
"Oh, come on, we've stalled out at 81."
We are odd creatures, but he thinks that Nathan Oakley, according to a video title of his, that Nathan Oakley slaughters heliocentrism.
oh yeah, no, this dude is a nutball.
Yeah, certifiable.
Well,
if not already.
So hang on. While that is great for those of you in the chat watching, what the fuck is this thumbnail? Bible versus heliocentrism, a test.
What thumbnail?
He's coming.
Hang on, let me do it.
It's either a pile of poo or some dirt.
So you guys in here can also see what I'm talking about. That one.
Looks tasty.
Termite mound? I'm trying to get it
I
off.
don't know what it's called in English, but to me it sort of looks like a big version of those small brown pellets you can use for insulation. Just don't
rat shit. Rat shit.
Oh, is this on the Matthias page?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is the one where he pours water on some lava stone, and then he has a jar juxtaposed to it that collects some water. So basically, he pours water in the lava stone, and then it evaporates and collects in the jar. And he says, because reasons, therefore flat.
Man,
Sounds
my
right.
sister is a pastor. I should probably give her a link to this video and see what she has to say about it. About the Bible versus this guy.
Well,
love to get her input on it.
Steve Lewis answering the question of what the hell is that in the thumbnail. Remnants of my brain after that video.
Right, and I've already.
What happens to gray matter when it dies?
I've already gotten a few emails saying this is going to be a dumpster fire, and I've already replied, "Yeah, I already know."
Well, it sure as hell isn't going to be a debate.
All right. Well, no, it's
this
not.
Is just wow.
Yeah, it's not going to be a debate. And being Furball, I have watched your debate. Well, not debates, but your talks with GM Truth and what's the other what's
Sargent. Mark Sargent.
Mark Sargent. And you are a saint.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a reputation on Jose's show for being sort of laid back, but you are way more laid back than me, and we're both military folks.
but
Well,
he has
to
the
kind of explain
professional
that,
experience.
yeah. I talked to Marvel about this the other day as well. So I've been interviewing people for 15 years. I am not a confrontational type of person. I'm not abrasive, and I'm not comfortable questioning someone on something unless I'm absolutely positive about it. But I have honed my interviewing skills for victims over the past 15 years, and that's like my focus. I am an amazing victim interviewer. I am shit at interviewing subjects in an accusatory fashion. Pretty much every confession that I've ever gotten is because it was on accident and the guy was dumb enough to confess.
Are you
So
saying,
my forte isn't.
I was actually going to
are
bring
you
that up.
saying that flat earthers are victims of people hitting them with the stupid club repeatedly over the head?
Or just victims of themselves?
I think I know what he's talking about, and I think I'm in the same spot. Like, I've never done this as a profession as you have, but I have just honed that same skill as just drawing someone into a corner and then pinning them
you've
down.
got to have a poker face. You've got to have a poker face. You can't be judgmental on what they are telling you because, if you're interviewing like a sexual assault victim and they did something that was really weird, but they were still sexually assaulted, if you judge them on whatever they did that was consensual, it can shut them down for talking to you about what actually the full story of what happened. So you cannot judge. You have to have a poker face. And I've had several interviews when I was early on that my face gave it away of like, huh? And you can see the person's reaction and they just shut down.
Well,
but again,
you sort of have to
subject interviewing.
You sort of
a couple
have
things
to
I noticed.
agree, not agree, but pretend
acknowledge.
to understand. Yeah, acknowledge and say, "Yeah, I see what you're saying," and then it's almost like you're steering them in that direction.
Well, a couple of things that
Just
I've
to make
noticed
them
in
comfortable with you.
A couple things I've noticed in your reviews is they take advantage of one thing that is really, really relevant because you actually acknowledge it in your JM interview about not knowing about something. And he kept on pressing the point with a very authoritative tone, like he knew what he was talking about, which in the comment sections and in the live chat, people were actually correcting that because he was blowing smoke, but you weren't aware of it.
Yeah.
So they take advantage of that with you because you don't know 100% of the story. Like, for example, with the Mark Sargent interview, when he was talking about the start button. Patricia Steer was there filming it with her cell phone, and her cell phone video matched the editing magic that was on the documentary. Mark Sargent never touched the actual start button, according to Patricia.
I also have an email from the director of that movie confirming he did not touch the start button and the machine was working.
Yeah, so at the time, you got to take them at their face value of what they say, which I usually do too, unless I have something that directly contradicts it. You didn't have that direct contradiction in your repertoire, so to speak.
Yep.
So you couldn't call them out on it. But again, that would have shut him down.
Yep.
But yeah, they take advantage of you not knowing 100% of what's going on, so they can continue to blow smoke. And that's the only thing that really.
I did shut him down on radiation and nuclear reactors.
Yeah. But
yeah, that was really weird of him.
That's the only thing that actually irritates me about your interviews is the fact that they take advantage of you being ignorant of something and they keep pressing the point like they're speaking factually and they're not. But again,
that's kind of the purpose of the interview, though, is to get their position, not to necessarily question their position, but to get their position. If you question it, you can shut them down and get them to move on. But if I just let whoever talk, they lay the groundwork for who they are, what they think, and why they think it. And then it's up to everybody else to scrutinize it, because my goal is just to get the information.
I understand that.
It's balancing the line between making them defensive and opening up, just not saying whether they're opposed or not, but just, talk about who they actually are.
I'm just pointing out a personality difference between me and Furball. My personality won't allow that kind of shit to slide because, as everybody knows, I call out bullshit no matter where it's coming from.
Right.
Really? I've never heard
I
that.
love to,
No.
I love to lay the trap and then, spring it.
But that's a personality quirk I actually picked up from my dad. My mom's the one that gave me the moderation attitude where I'll just be the peacekeeper. I got that from my mom. I got my calling out of bullshit from my dad.
Which mom? I have to ask.
Yeah, fuck off, Team Skeptic.
Sorry, guys. Y'all don't know the inside joke, but it's...
Yeah, they don't need to either.
Oh, I know.
The only question is who's inside who.
There.
No, if he spits it out, I'm going to be inside all up in his ass.
No, I'm the one that's on the outside, guys. It's all inside of me.
Which of you is able to?
So is that
fight?
all of
That's the only important thing.
Sean's cream?
So now you know where the cream came from in Cream Skeptic.
Oh, we're at 82 now.
Which technically isn't wrong. I'm the one that actually did coin the phrase.
Yes, you did. And that was the best phrase yet ever to be coined by man. Other than maybe the eagle has landed. That one too. It's pretty cool.
Oh, left him.
So yes, the cream from Cream Skeptic did come from me. Just not in the way you guys are thinking, it hurts.
Was it creamylicious?
The women have been loving it ever since, though, Sean. So.
Oh, jeez.
Demonetized.
You say that, but the last few episodes. It was at the green before we started. Actually, you know what? Let me.
Hey, mine from earlier demonetized.
What, I told you. I told you.
I'm not even gonna fight it, guys. I'm just gonna let that one go to the annals of YouTube history.
Let's see if it'll show me under. Come on. Come on, YouTube.
Yeah, go to your video manager.
Be nice. Oh, no, it's fucking limited already.
They love to hate us.
You know, what's interesting is it'll probably go back to green later on, like other VTWs have. And what's the funny part about that to me is the fact that I don't really care about how much we swear, because it doesn't really seem like they care all that much about it.
I'm going to correct you right there, Jared, because in their little guidelines, it actually states specifically swearing at the beginning of your video will demonetize it.
But
so their algorithm is actually looking at the very beginning. It doesn't say how much time it's going to scan it, but it scans a set amount of time for every video put up to see if they're swearing, and it automatically demonetizes if it detects any.
But here's the thing:
my JM Truth interview, the JM interview was initially demonetized when I put it up, but I had it in the buffer for about 2 days, so I requested a manual review of it, and it got approved before it aired. But for whatever reason, the algorithm caught it as for demonetization.
Jeez.
And I didn't think there was that much in there that was offensive.
I think there was only one swear word in the whole thing. I think he said ass once.
In other words,
I think we said fuck a couple
it wasn't
times.
offensive. It was snowflake offensive.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. So, but Sean, with that, the prior episode of ETW is in the green for monetization, and guarantee you, there was swearing within the first few minutes of it.
Yeah, but the algorithm just kicked on within the last day or so.
If they tweaked it then you know what? Stringer News definitely has the right idea there. We do have Super Chats active, and he says, remonetized, because they can't stop that shit unless they remove monetization completely.
Which they did to Red Pill.
Oh, they did it to Red Pill? They did it to Sinatra Says.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Red Pill was demonetized about a month and a half ago. Completely demonetized the entire channel.
That was the same time as they did Sinatra Says and a bunch of other content creators.
Yeah,
what was hilarious is then he started trying to push people over to BitChute, his other channel. So yeah, we should just leave YouTube and go over to BitChute. where he has 800 followers. Yeah, let's leave the channel where I've got 100,000 and go to 800.
Because that makes sense.
Because it's all about the bling bling.
And that's what part of what we were talking about earlier on Team Skeptic's stream before. These other streaming platforms aren't going to take off until you get a couple sizable creators who completely, and all of the history of their footage, leave YouTube completely and take their viewers with them. Other than that, these smaller channels like Red Pill doing shit like that, dude, you're fucking pissing in the wind. Hope you like the taste.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube's working on that, so give them some time.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Sure. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was actually impressed that Red Pill showed up in my last video for my observation in Hawaii and said that elementary science will disprove the picture that I posted.
Really?
Yeah, my response back was, I thought that elementary science was indoctrination, and that's where they taught you the globe earth, so you're not supposed to believe it. But now you're telling me to use elementary science?
Ouch. And his rebuttal? He probably didn't make one?
He did not respond.
Aww.
He didn't respond.
Oh, poor
surprise, surprise.
Yeah, he couldn't seem to explain why, several buildings were missing from a picture from 15 miles away.
Oh, because dirtier.
He probably didn't have enough room for the extra tabs.
The Riley effect.
Yeah, dirtier, man. It's I just debunked it. Dirtier.
Let me see if I can.
Speaking of BitChute, I have better following on BitChute than I do on YouTube.
Really?
I get more views there, I should say, than I do over here. I only have 2 subscribers.
That would probably be why.
Interesting.
Okay,
wait a minute. Sean.
What?
So he has 2 subscribers there and gets more views than he does here on YouTube?
I know what he said. I wasn't going to respond.
You buying subs, man?
You can't do that as far as I'm aware on BitChute yet.
He's pulling a non sequitur show.
Although I can monetize already. You can link Patreon and all that directly to your BitChute.
Here's the picture that Red Pill couldn't quite understand and couldn't explain.
It's dirtier. Don't you see the tuft of trees? There's 2 of them.
Oh, there's more than that. There's an entire field of
Waikiki?
oil tankers. Yeah, this is from Waikiki towards Barbers Point.
Okay.
That's limestone.
Hey, and those are actually smokestacks.
You mean they're not hedgerows?
Are they purple?
Yeah, there's literally a field of oil tankers between me and those buildings that you can't see.
Oh, you can see a little bit of the trees.
It's because the apparent horizon is blocking the actual horizon.
Oh my god.
Is that the second horizon or the third horizon? Like Flat Out Hero used to claim that there were 3 horizons.
It depends on the angle of attack.
It's the inverted horizon.
You know what? I think Demonic Davros has it right. You have the air of your personal dome being refracted by diffraction.
And angle of attack within the dome.
My only concern is that all the personal domes that flat earthers have around them apparently have been evacuated of oxygen.
No, they've been evacuated of intelligence.
Well, like evacuation of oxygen would lead to evacuation of intelligence. Just saying.
I'm trying to not condone suffocation of the idiots, but at the same time,
they're making it really hard.
Yeah.
Are you condoning suffocation or hypoxia?
Tomato.
Hey, doing it the hypoxia way means that you don't have to spend so much money on alcohol.
True.
Just space all of them.
Yeah, where's tornado pelt when you need them?
But space, it costs a lot of hydrogen to get them up there.
Helium.
Helium's cheaper, man. Balloons.
Yeah, but it's less buoyant. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry
but
to
it's
use
in
a
short
cuss word there.
supply.
Exactly that too. Yeah.
Well, all the
I don't
hot
wanna
air
waste
they're spewing, I
helium.
should be able to lift them.
You know,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just get Flat Earth Aussie Jesus to inflate the balloons. There you go.
Jay Sherman has a very good question. If a flat tart falls in the forest, does anybody care?
What about like barring
How could they
like
fall
one of the
when
Iowa class and using their cannons?
Let's say, has anybody seen the drivel that Ross Thatcher's just posted in the UDSA general chat?
Oh God! Did he reply to my question?
No,
Or did he avoid it?
He has commented
He
after
wrote a
you.
fucking paragraph.
I was
Two
annoyed with
paragraphs.
myself because I finally got around to making a detailed explanation of how the sun actually works, and therefore the flat Earth model everyone keeps screaming for. And I made diagrams and all. And when I stopped the recording at 21 minutes, thinking I deleted more than enough space on my practically new phone. What? Oh, a brand new phone that it said error occurred, recording not saved. Oh, right. So Flat Earth Aussie Jesus claims that he had finally made a detailed, Flat Earth Aussie, mind you, had made a detailed explanation of how the sun actually works, and blah 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 blah. But my dog ate my homework basically. Holy shit.
Well, mistake one. You tried to record it on your phone.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you got to do it the Pratt way, like a minute and a half at a time.
Yeah. I just have to screenshot that one. It's just
Wow, but yeah, it looks like he completely ignored my question.
funny that. You should probably,
So for those people who are wondering, I will read my question for the audience. This is towards Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, otherwise known as Ross Thatcher. I heard you'd given up talking about Flat Earth, Ross. Was that true? If so, then why were you on planner walks talking about Flat Earth?
What was his answer?
His initial paragraph, as reads, is, I was annoyed with myself because I finally got around to making a detailed explanation of how the sun actually works, and therefore the flat Earth model everyone keeps screaming for. And I made diagrams and all, and when I stopped the recording at about 21 minutes, thinking I deleted more than enough space on my, practically, brand new phone, it said error occurred, recording not saved. It was enough to make me throw in the towel for an evening. I got so drunk I vomited. Was that really the alcohol or was it the shrooms? We may never know. But I think it might have just been an individual off bottle of homebrew. It was the shrooms. Just fucking admit it. It's the other illicit hallucinogens that you take. Oh, wait, that would mean you would actually have to admit that you're taking fucking illicit materials.
And it's funny because he does claim that he knows how to supplement with the very best of the things a body needs to maintain ultimate health and spiritual wisdom. Apparently, you can eat your way into getting spiritual wisdom. Oh no, that must be what the native Indians call a peace pipe. Hallucinogens.
Is it just me, or did that honestly sound like two stoners sitting on the couch talking about how they'd figured out time travel?
Yes.
Well, talking about all those medical stuff actually brings back a very fond memory of Riley, of all people. About 2 years ago, while we were still talking, he actually asked me, if we met in real life, we'd be buddies. You'd we'd go out for drinks and whatever. Obviously not. I'd rather like kick him in the face. But he's like, yeah, if I ended up going to a dinner sometime and ended up going to into a diabetic shock, you'd give me the insulin. Think about that for a minute. Think about that from a medical standpoint for a minute. If you give somebody going through diabetic shock insulin, you just killed them. Diabetic shock is when your blood sugar is incredibly low.
Yeah, you want to give them
You
something.
introduce insulin, it goes lower.
Well, that's hypoglycemic shock, right?
Yeah,
well, hypoglycemic shock.
There is I thought there's hyperglycemic as well.
There is.
It is medical
there is
definition of
also
diabetic shock. Severe hypoglycemia.
Yeah,
Low blood sugar.
Yeah, diabetic shock.
There is also.
Yeah, there are ones at either end. The terminology that Riley used was the extreme low blood sugar.
Oh,
if he would have said insulin shock, which is basically the same thing. I mean, it's your blood sugar is incredibly low, and it is medical definition. I'm looking at it right now. Medical definition of diabetic shock: severe hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. You get somebody going through that insulin, you kill them.
What was that, Alan?
Okay, so you can most definitely get hyperglycemic shock because it nearly did for my daughter.
Yeah, that's when your blood sugar is too high. That's when you want to give them insulin.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Yeah, she had.
I have some stories to tell y'all, man. My brother suffers from type 2, I think it is. And the type 2, where the young kids get type 2, right, and the older people get type 1. Yeah.
Type 1 is younger people. Type 1 is
type
younger
1
people.
is younger.
Type 2
Okay.
is older.
Well, I'll tell you,
Generally.
there's been times where he's been so out of it that we've had to literally take our finger, dip it in water, roll it around in sugar, and rub it around in his mouth just to get sugar into his mouth without getting our fingers chomped on. And he had no idea what he was doing.
Right. But the point
was scary shit, man.
Anthony tried to say that, I'd be the good guy and save his life by giving him insulin when he's going through diabetic shock. That would fucking kill you, dude.
You're a really nice guy, Sean.
That's what he wants, so you should probably do it.
Yeah,
Did he want? So he's calling you a murderer.
Well, no, he legitimately thought it would save his life in that case.
So here is something to think about, though. He's not wrong. If he goes into a shock like that, admit it, Sean, you would be thinking about giving him insulin.
Nah.
Hey, to be honest, as I remember from getting some some education about it, not education, just being told by a diabetic, it can be very hard to see if you should stuff some sugar into him or give him some insulin based on his on the way he's reacting from a shock.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you have to have a tester on you and be able to get a test. Because one way is absolutely you cannot do one way. Just like Sean was saying, you can't get it backwards. It's like, oh, your low blood sugar hasn't killed you yet. Okay, well, let me give you some insulin and finish the job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a diabetic Siberian Husky that we have to give insulin shots twice a day.
Because the hard thing about hyper and hypoglycemia is the early stages, both of them give you the shakes. With hypo, the shakes eventually stop and you become fatigued and you pass out. With hyper, those shakes never stop and you literally just fall on the floor and start having seizures. So
there's an easy fix to all of this. Just take that homeopathic diabetic medicine.
Oh my god,
that'll fix anything.
Yeah. When our dog first got diagnosed as diabetic.
Just don't take the same medicine, homeopathic medicine that's used for back pain, because that'll just fuck you up then. Oh wait, it's the exact same thing. Sugar water.
Yeah, when our dog first got diagnosed as diabetic, the first week or so, we almost lost her because her blood sugar was so high and she had no energy. She couldn't walk around the house. Even eating, she would stand and she would shake. And after about 3 days, when the insulin finally kicked in, she started to slowly come down and come back to normal.
Not always with snakes when you're high. I know what you meant. But early stages, they both do tend to have shakes. Low blood sugar will always have shakes because your body's trying to fight to get more energy.
Pretty accurate, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thankfully, some diabetics, especially where I'm from, they tend to have those blood test kits on them always.
Nice.
It's really easy to find out because it's
for
just,
this one.
Yeah, and it takes seconds for that test to come through to see if you need sugar or insulin.
And technically, though, on a biological level, it's the same. It's your body's not getting enough sugar. It's just that when you have high blood sugar, it's because your body doesn't have the insulin to process it into energy. And when you have low blood sugar, you just don't have sugar.
So, got another super chat. $2 Australian from Demonic Davros. Are anti-vax, anti-insulin. Ross is an idiot. Ding. You know what?
Oh, anti-vax.
if an anti-vaxxer is also anti-insulin, they're just speeding up the demise, which I don't have a problem with because natural selection is a good thing, but
just thinning out the herd.
I've got a correction for Mama Murder. She says type 2 are always weird, though. Well, here's the thing. Humans are weird.
Yes.
Any human that says they're not weird, I worry about. Just saying.
Wait, I'm not weird.
That's why I worry about you. And those around you.
If my kids grew up,
I've seen what you do to
normal, I
dingers.
failed as a father.
Yeah, with how easy it is to get you to destroy a dinger team, I'm glad you took it out on the inorganic object.
Hey, Jared, what do you think of this one?
The North Koreans do it better.
I can't even begin to guess which country that's from. I want to say
former Eastern Bloc, definitely that.
Romania is what I was thinking, but based on the uniform on the right. But okay.
Nice.
Oh, that one.
Yes, the butt cat.
It's kind of cute, actually.
That's not wrong.
Oh my god! I tried.
Nice.
I still have my cover. I try to put that on, and it just don't fit no more. I'm just saying.
So for me, the cover's not the problem. It's the uniform itself is just a touch tight. But then again, I was 30 pounds lighter when I got out than I am right now.
Hold on.
That was for
I had to find the parts for my uniform. Yeah, I had to find my uniform this week so I could get promoted. Put it on so infrequently.
What did you get promoted to, Furball?
CW3.
CW3. Hell yeah. My brother made E7. He did make
I'll
it.
take the
I
bottom
announced
half
it earlier, but
this is also very accurate there.
Not doing it. I refuse. I don't gotta salute nobody no more. I don't gotta go to attention. I don't gotta go to at ease. No, none of it.
There's one more, Jay. Just a little more self-fluff.
Yeah, you know what? This one, yes. And actually, oh, yeah. Hey, that picture looks familiar. It's almost like I saw it on Facebook a few days ago.
It's almost like I went and had dinner with that person a couple weeks ago.
Is that bad that I'm looking for problems with your uniform?
Right, they're waving hi at each other wrong. That's not military.
Isn't that a teenager? I think he's a teenager, that guy. Kid there. Huh.
I'm looking for praise.
He's what? 4'5" or something?
I'm just waiting for the guy on the left to slap the shit out of the guy on the right.
Well, and he has the hand.
This is military slap game, right?
I'll just say this, Skeptic. It's really hard to pin somebody when they're wearing Velcros.
No, you just
But
have to work harder.
you know, Sean.
Really limited.
But look at the location of it.
Oh, I know all about the sternum stab.
So the guy that's swearing, because for O grade or warrants, you've got to actually take an oath after you pin. The guy giving the oath is a CW5. That hand raise for swearing me in is how many fucks he has left to give.
He's a CW5. Who's going to criticize him?
Okay, so it's not
Yeah,
because
he's
he
like,
had
there's no such thing as a
arthritis in his hand.
CW6.
Oh, hold on. I know who would give a CW5 some shit for that hand raise. An 0-1 out of the academy.
And would be
the last thing he ever did.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it would. I didn't say it would be a smart thing. I just said they would be the ones to do it.
They would try, but then immediately the sergeant major that's with him be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit back and watch this."
Let me get some popcorn first.
Yeah, I would love to see one YouTube video of any commissioned officer actually giving a CW any shit. I really would. I would love to see that any day. Just once.
If I must.
That'd be just slightly below an ensign giving a chief shit. Not much, but just.
If I can tell a quick story, I once saw an 05 prior enlisted tell a Chief Warrant Officer 3 to shut the fuck up.
How long that last?
Well, he was a prior enlisted 05 telling a Chief Warrant Officer 3 to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. See, now that's a battle I would be interested to see, just because pretty damn close to equal footing. So,
like I said, I would love to see any video of any officer giving a CW shit. I just
okay.
I was in the room.
That's a verbal abuse argument I would love to.
So
watch.
here's my search. Now I want you to take a look at the. Hold on, I want you to take a look at this right here.
How the hell?
Fuck. These gigantic cows are simple bodybuilders. Breeders have achieved such amazing things. So what the?
Oh Jesus!
You know what?
All right then.
Demonic Davros asked for something as similarly unlikely to happen.
Yeah, that's about on par.
Yeah, but the story that I'm telling, I was in the room. Yeah. But he was well senior of that Chief Warrant Officer. And I was a lieutenant junior grade sitting in the back corner.
How hard was it to not laugh?
It wasn't hard not to laugh. It was hard to not cringe, which is what I did, because it was a very senior officer telling a very senior warrant officer to shut the fuck up. And
the greatest thing that I've ever seen is that particular CW5 being told by a sergeant major to take his hands out of his pockets. And the CW5 responding, he's like, I understand your position, Sergeant Major, but I can't hear you while you're standing at, not standing at attention.
Boom.
And then walk away.
Boom. Why would he do that? Why would he try to tell a CW5 what to do? You literally cannot tell them what to do. They have the answer to nobody.
Yeah.
A sergeant major on
there's
a
no
power
such thing
trip?
as a there's no such
he
thing
was-
as a CW6. So it's not like he needs to get promoted.
Yeah, he gives no fuck at that point.
the thing is, you don't put somebody like a CW5 in a room with somebody who can tell him what to do, because there are people who can tell him what to do. You just don't put
That's
him.
like a matter antimatter explosion. You don't put them in the
That's
same
why I
chamber.
want to see something like that once.
Right. There's somebody who could tell a CW05 what to do, and that person is called an admiral. And
or a general.
Or a general, yeah. Well, they're equivalents.
A flag officer.
A flag, what we call a FOGO. A FOGO. You don't put them in the same general. You
don't want to put them in earshot.
Right.
Because then it becomes a penis measuring contest.
Right. But I have, just like I said, I have seen that. I have seen a prior enlisted commander, 05E, tell a CW03 to shut the fuck up. And
Then
guess what he did?
You have seen the second coming.
Yeah. Well, guess what he did? He shut the fuck up.
He shut the fuck up.
It's amazing how that happens sometimes.
You have witnessed the second coming.
Well, if he was a non-prior enlisted 05, then maybe that would have been a different story.
The menu for tonight.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Why?
What's the menu?
And even the thumbnail, there's 2 of her. In other words, 4 of, well, hers. But, no, please. Yeah.
Oh, so the title of the video, and oh boy, I hope this wins just because I'm going to be laughing the entire time the video is playing. Flat Earth Lies and a New Model. The video by Orphan Red.
God.
Oh God.
We need support
And
from
it's
this
an
one.
hour and a half long.
We need some yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually
need backup
thought
on
about
this
going on to Sci Strike tonight. But with an hour and a half video being the very likely one that you're going to cover, I'm probably going to say no.
Well, see, here's
Why
the thing.
the hell did we say that?
He uses the wheel to determine what we're gonna watch. So there's a 2 in 3 chance we don't watch that video.
We've been known to re-spin.
or keep it spinning. It looks like it's up. Nope, I still see movement.
This is true right here. Jared.
Oh no!
I'm up at dollars to donuts. It's going to be the Orphan Red video, and I'm going to bow out now.
So
it's that simple.
That's why I have to sleep tonight, so that I can be.
So I have to disagree with this meme. I have to disagree with this meme. That is far too easy to follow and understand.
This is for the flat earthers who don't understand this. You know, the people outside of the military that understand anything.
So her video, she's got a little ad at the bottom, you know, the subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And it says, ring my bell to be a special subscriber.
Oh my God.
I wonder why she wrote it that way. I'm sure it was coincidental.
Notice what she's wearing.
Why not click my button?
You know, had Team Skeptic turned on his live stream at a more opportune moment before he did.
Right.
See, that's where I set you up beautifully for that type of intro that I got you with on this channel a little while ago.
Yeah, I still say Orphan Red's double slit experiment. Her version of it would be much more entertaining to watch.
The scissors.
Wait.
With the audio muted, yeah.
Hang on. Question. Who would the other half be?
Antonio. He's got a slit.
Oh.
I thought she called it a double slut experiment.
Tomato.
No, that would be her. That would be her trip with Mark Sargent. Oh, people don't know history. What's wrong with y'all?
No, it's just
We're trying
not
to
a mental image
compose
we
ourselves.
want.
Yeah.
Okay, what? So Mr. Unite for the Children. JM Truth, as the same with the last number of weeks, has a standing invite. Now, after the interview that he did with BM Furball, we got this answer to his availability for this week.
Yeah,
Furball?
he said that he is currently out on travel. What did he say? I said I'm away. I would, but I'm traveling.
Notice how he specifically did not. For legal reasons, he did not use the word driving.
Yeah, I keep thinking that way every single time I hear a photographer use the word travel. I just can't.
Telling himself.
I've seen way too many sovereign citizen videos now.
More video, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
we
keep
need
offering
that
him
one.
if he wants to come on.
That's the thing. Open invite to all veterans. Doesn't matter where you stand on certain intellectual topics. You can be fucking wrong, but you're still a veteran.
I do want to tell JM Truth that he is not being detained.
And he is free to go, or he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he can leave at any time.
Yeah.
No, guys, we would eat JM. We would eat JM Truth alive if he came here. Let's be real.
Oh, he wouldn't like this.
As long as we're doing it according to the Article 6 of the what is it? Oh,
we mean well, but I'm allergic to stupid, man. I'm sorry.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. He has said that one of the comments I saw, I think it was one of the emails that you shared with me, he said that we're ruthless. Which, okay, yeah, we are.
We are.
But at the same time, if you don't give us the ammunition, you're not going to get that treatment.
We're nice. We're nice guys.
Yeah, just don't ask him the difference between a positive and negative number. Guys should be fine.
Oh, you know what?
No, there's a bunch of shit you can't ask him.
Well, and that was another thing. He said that another thing he said
Definitely
was
don't ask him to edit a video.
He would join. He would join. No, listen to this, guys. He said that he would join, but the talk about flat Earth would have to be minimal, or in his real preference, non-existent.
Do you think that he could stay to that standard?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think either of us could hold that.
I want to ask something. When did people
eating us?
When did veterans start being such fucking vaginas like him? I've never met a veteran that's been as much of a vagina as he's been right here.
That's exactly
super thin skin.
Oh, okay. So
you're not even allowed to be a veteran if you're going to be like that.
I'm not claiming you.
Team Skeptic.
Yeah,
Team Skeptic.
how
This is
much
your veterans.
soy-
This is the majority of your veterans. There's the few that are like JM like that.
Yeah. So
but he comes from a little bit older school. He comes from
okay.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. No. I'm saying he comes from, let's say, late 90s. That's way different than today's military.
Yeah,
way different.
He joined a little bit before I did. He left active duty a little bit before I did. So there was that cross. That was the melding of the different mentalities in the military, and it's actually part of the reason I decided to say, fuck you, I'm not staying in 20. Because
I mean, do they give snowflake survival training in the military these days? I mean, is that what's going on? Is that why he's that way?
I don't know.
Dude,
but
they have the stress cards in basic training in the Army. They have stress cards.
What?
Y'all haven't heard
of the fuck is a stress card?
It's a card that you can pull out like for psychological emergencies. If like drill sergeants in your ass too hard,
it should say "I'm a pussy." You should have to put it on your fucking. You should have to tack it on your forehead.
I do believe that.
I'm pretty sure they got rid of that.
Did they? Yeah, they got.
We pulled up the angry cost version of that.
That was the silliest shit I'd ever heard in my life.
They ended up getting rid of it. They actually thought about introducing something similar on the Navy side, but decided not to. But because they thought about it, a lot of people ran with the idea that they did. What the Navy did institute, which was a thing while I was in basic in 2002, was what they called a training timeout, where if you felt as the recruit that you needed a break during a training evolution, you would
My drill sergeant would have split my forehead if I said some shit like that to him.
No. The training timeout is a safety training.
No, that is the actual. That is the actual where it is allowed. But the way we were told during our P days, during the first frickin' night we were there, was if you sense that you are being pushed too hard.
Oh, like if you're being too stressed.
Yes.
But an actual training timeout is a real thing.
Yes, outside of basic training, it is a safety measure.
Yeah, it's a safety training timeout, and anyone can call it a training timeout.
Things were very different in 1993.
Yeah. When I was
they were different in 99 too.
The only request for a safety training timeout that ever occurred was on the first night when some kid complained because he didn't feel comfortable being naked around other men, and the guy was like, "I don't care if you feel comfortable.
No. I'm talking about.
And he was like,
I'm talking about.
Pick up that bar of soap. No, wait. No.
I'm talking about in an actual training event. A training safety timeout is an actual thing, and it has
for example,
its place.
For steer training. Where you're in a hostile environment and you're.
I've got important information here.
To not give away, your secrets, that kind of thing.
Jay, there are way too many carbs on that plate.
That I could understand.
So no, in SEER training, they are intentionally trying to push you beyond that limit. So as the recipient of the training in that environment, training timeout is not called by you, it's called by the trainers who are witnessing around that are part of the evolution. That because of the nature of that training. But once you get out of that initial training scenario, so after basic training, after A school, when you are actually in the fleet, no, training timeout is a thing in the fleet that anyone can call for a potential safety hazard.
Right, and that's
safety hazard. That's something completely different. That or are you still talking about something that is mental and not?
No. We are showing the difference between what training timeout was reported to be in basic training and what it actually is in the fleet.
A training timeout is a safety training timeout.
Yeah.
And anyone can call it, and no matter your pay grade.
So I got a question.
And it's actually encouraged.
In today's military, okay, because when I was there, when I was in boot camp, I went there during like on a January 7th or 8th. It was a huge blizzard, and they were like, "All right, time to go get food." And we said, "Well, hey, hold on, it's icy outside. How are we gonna get food?" And he said, "Well, okay, you don't have to go if y'all don't want to, but y'all aren't gonna eat." So today, how the fuck do they get food when it's icy outside? Do they still march over a mile to the chow hall at basic training? They literally have it delivered.
So no, so the plans were already in process, and they had already started some of the work when I was in Great Lakes at the end of 2002, where instead of the old school 12 bay barracks buildings, the H-shaped buildings that they had, they demolished all of those and built brand new barracks that had everything enclosed with the exception of the physical training center and the wet trainer and firefighting.
We're talking about individual
basic
shower
training.
stalls.
No, well, I'm not sure what the headspace was like, but they tried to make the berthings the barracks that the recruits went in as close to analogous as being on a ship as possible. So they put everything that they could into the buildings, into the new buildings.
I just couldn't imagine them trying to do what I did back in the day today. With all the people that are real true snowflakes, I could not have imagined what it would be like for them to have to march with 8-degree temperature at 5 o'clock in the morning to go get fucking food.
Well, I never had to march. I never had to march through the snow to get food.
Well,
we had to march. We had to march.
Neither did I. I went through RTC Orlando in the middle of summer.
Oh yeah, fuck off. I was in Chicago at January 8th.
But even then, at Great Mistakes, the majority of the hazard from the weather, you fuckers were dealing with that during the middle of the night shoveling. And
we used to have people go out there and shovel every night. It'd be 24/7. People would be out there shoveling ice off of the fucking sidewalks.
And you poor guy, you're cold. Then work harder, you dumbass. You'll get warm.
They marched. Well, we had to go to the Chow Har. They had us marching laps around the recruit training center in our fire retardant dungarees in the middle of summer, 90-degree plus.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we learned very, very quickly in basic training was if somebody asks you if you're cold, you do not say yes ever.
Oh no, that's an invitation for more training.
Yeah, and of course, training. You cannot discipline one single person. No. You give them a little gift that you can share with the rest of your platoon or squad. Some extra PT.
But that doesn't have anything to do with an actual real training timeout.
No, I know, but it's just this. It sounds a lot like we're getting closer to a snowflake.
So
Navy/Army/ whatever.
Where I was going with this, the generation that JM and I interacted with. So when I got to my first permanent duty station in 2003 in Florida, the senior enlisted that I worked for was part of the generation that my dad was a part of. And I got along with that group fucking phenomenally because the management mentality was different. And that's where the generation that followed the senior enlisted and a number of the officers that followed that generation and took over were selfish as fuck. And that's where the second chief that I worked for in Japan was part of that mentality. So my first wife, when she was pregnant with my son, with my oldest, she was on bed rest from the 20-week ultrasound until she gave birth less than 8 weeks later. I was commanded by the senior medical officer of the entire 7th Fleet, based out of Okinawa, that unless you can get a family member of hers here, me as a service member was staying there at her bedside for her health. My chief did not like that, and that chief decided to not communicate through proper channels via the hospital liaison. So the hospital was getting nothing from the boat from him, but were only clued in because my responses by email always included the entire hospital staff that was applicable. So when he tried to pull some shit, I just simply looked over at the liaison and the senior medical officer of the hospital, and that 06 of the hospital was like, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it.
Yep.
That is the mentality difference between the generations, and being in between generations like that is what cemented it to me that I would not mentally survive 20 years dealing with these fuckers.
Well, no, even me as a 22-year retired lieutenant, when I had my wrist broken, like horribly, the doctor at the Norfolk Naval Hospital, which is, as everybody knows, a giant naval hospital. He was the 05, and he was in charge of the department. He said, "Oh, I'm going to go over here and make sure that you get an MRI," which normally everybody knows how hard it is to get an MRI. He walked back in 5 minutes, and he was like, "Oh yeah, go over there and they're going to give you an MRI." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he was like, "Oh no, they're my friends." So, that's how it happens when things are important, because my wrist was fucking wrecked. So every when things are important, that's how things get done, and as they should be.
I mean, it's as if that the entire world almost these days are afraid of, well, pulling their hands out of their pockets and actually getting stuff done, or letting their kids actually burn themselves on the stove. After 30 times of telling them don't touch it. They had, it's, yeah.
God damn it! Who let Carl into the motor pool again?
Yep. I remember asking my son.
N111.
He's 11 now.
You're 13, damn it.
And I remember asking him, because he,
Go back one.
Little kids, periodically hurt themselves. And he would come to me and after having hurt himself, and I would say, "Well, did you learn anything?" And it took a few times, and after a few times, he was like, "Well, I'm not going to do that again." And I was like, "There you go."
This says so much. And where's Lord Burns when you need him?
Ranger.
Oh, you're not coming through there.
Well, see, if it was a sailor, he'd still be walking.
This is true. This is very true.
I've carried so many people home from the NCO club.
So the very first time I got drunk, well, actually even touched alcohol, except for stealing a couple of zips from my dad's beer, was in basic training. So yeah.
So
I know.
So here's a question for you guys, and I'd like the green side to try to answer this one. How do you know you're walking behind a drunk sailor?
How?
They're actually walking a fucking dead straight line.
I remember one time. There was one time I was coming back from the pubs in Gibraltar when we were there one time, and I remember people telling me they were pretty shocked I made it to my rack on my own.
I could carry my liquor, man, but once I get to my bed and lay down, that's when shit starts spinning. Oh, I hated that.
Now remember, I was on a submarine, however, so that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear
Robert,
you.
did you also have some very good friends at basic that made sure that all your boots were positioned perfectly in case you needed to wake up and barf?
Oh man.
Yeah, that happened to me. That was not fun.
You threw up in your damn shoes, man. That would have sucked. Look at this dude's face.
And of course, it wasn't. We had two sets of boots. Our P3 boots, that's for the parade stuff, and our P7 boots, that's for the for the field stuff. Of course, this was Thursday nights. Friday morning, of course. The day where we just get light duty work and then we get off for the weekend. I was a conscript back then. Of course, I had to throw up in the very nicely polished boots. Those, it's so well polished that they almost had a mirror shine on the tips of them. I fucked them up nicely.
Did I ever
Jake,
tell y'all?
I remember this one. Yeah,
Jay, go back to the
This has to be
MRE box
cat.
one.
It's
This
fun.
has to be cat right here.
Did I ever tell y'all about the enlisted guy? I think he was a seaman who threw up on the back of the lieutenant who was sitting next to me,
I don't remember that one.
and it was a female. Yeah,
I was at an MP ball once in dress uniform, and I went to take a piss, and I'm standing at the urinal as a soldier stumbles in, and I hear throw up, and then I hear splash on the floor as it like comes up the backside of my pant legs.
No. Shit.
Yeah. So we were getting on this bus, and I was a Lieutenant JG, and she was a lieutenant. We had been hanging out for the day, and she said, "Yeah, take the window seat," and I took the window seat. And the seaman who was sitting behind her was drunk and threw up all over the back of her arm and shoulder.
Marine lieutenants with explosives.
Oh god,
Yeah.
you know, I know he hasn't been around because of personal reasons, but god damn it, a meme like that really makes me miss Main Gun.
Yeah, where's that
Yeah.
grunt?
Yeah.
How's he doing, by the way?
From last
You know what can be really, difficult in life though, if your
Duck,
department
duck,
head ends up
goose.
on restriction most of the deployment.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, he was from. He was from.
Jared, you need to find a high-res version of that and use it for the slides. You have to.
Well,
That
you
is
just have
so
to
good. That is so good, dude. He's in full IBA. I want to see that golf swing, dude. I want to see that golf swing so bad. Hey, I once saw a dude do 205 push-ups, full battle rattle, dude. I'm telling you.
God damn.
His name was Barry.
The great thing about this story that I'm telling
in a gimp
is,
suit as well, or
is that guy was from a destroyer, and the lieutenant was from an LHD. So his skipper had to tell a whole hell of a story to her skipper. So I don't think he saw the shore for a hell of a lot of time.
Go back.
Wow.
Shut up, Carl.
Sorry.
Insert when you know right here.
The face you make when you know. I like the.
Where is
knife
Mangum when
hand.
we really need him?
The knife hand is just classic.
Well,
You never point fingers; you point the whole hand.
Yeah, you don't point with one finger because you always
The
have
knife
three
hand.
going back at you, and that's where the knife hand comes in.
We had one drill sergeant named Drill Sergeant Diab. I'll never forget him. He was so robotic with that shit for the entire basic training. He was crazy. And then on the last day, like the day before we graduated, we were doing TA-50 cleanup, and he was totally out of character. He came in playing Slipknot and shit. It was so funny. Dude, he would throw the knife hand, like he'd bring it up next to his head, and then...
Well, it's so easy. I mean...
It's stupid shit like
I'm
that.
calling
I miss,
bullshit on this
really.
one, Furball.
Different type of
Oh,
warrant
that's totally
officer.
real.
Yeah.
No.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm
That's
going to bed.
CID.
I got the.
Yeah,
to get
the
some
hard
sleep,
work
and
of
then
debate tomorrow.
Yep, debate tomorrow. Everybody,
Cat.
please show up as best you can.
For emotional support.
Yep, just everybody show up.
I'll be drunk by the time it starts.
You need a shoulder to cry on at the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So how much
it'll be a
pregame are we
dumpster
gonna
fire.
have? How much pregame are we gonna have to do?
I say we do a pregame stream, Jared.
If
2
you
bottles
want
of
to,
tequila.
then send me a link to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jared,
no,
I say
that would be
please
cool.
do-
I will consider it.
Yeah, a pregame would be cool.
think for something for something like that, I'll let the chat have a voice on that.
Come on, guys.
Would you like to see?
I'll believe this one, Furball.
Yeah.
Would you like to see a pre-show before Schrodinger Cat's debate tomorrow, just as an excuse to insulate your brain from the level of stupid that's going to happen?
A little pre-game intelligence. Stupid.
But I will definitely let you know tomorrow, because I know you got to go get your rest and make the real boss happy. Go.
Yep, Jared, my contact, and I'm going to jump out. And love you, best friend forever. Bye-bye.
Later, buddy. Bye-bye. This is a funny ass meme, guys.
Oh, and it's so fucking true.
It is. The shit that you see on the news is like, dude, if I was making wine in my Foot Locker, bro.
It sounds like it's about time I actually watched those movies. I have never watched them.
You never seen Deadpool, dude?
No, I've seen the trailer.
Bo, dude, hey, you have to see Deadpool, man.
Yeah, apparently.
Very funny.
Should we unsub just after the debate to really mess with his head and think it was the debate? You know what? That is a beautiful, beautiful play. Good on you, Jay Sherman.
So do we all sub to it and then unsub? Did y'all do that while I was gone?
No, we haven't unsub.
We haven't unsubbed yet because we didn't get him to the 100 subscriber threshold.
We're at 82 right now.
But you did sub.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go sub too. That's a brilliant idea.
Maybe
and then as soon as the debate's over, unsub.
The movie night crew should probably help there.
Hey, Tech, is this about right?
Yes. Wait, isn't that what Midrats is for? Oh, wait, you guys on the subs didn't have the proper Midrats experience, did you?
We had Midrats.
Oh, yeah, we had Midrats.
Yeah.
But how much of it was actual leftovers?
A majority of it.
No.
On my boat, it was.
Ours wasn't really leftovers, so, but
yeah. See. Gotta remember when I got to the boat in Japan, and after the first deployment, I was talking with my dad, and I mentioned how they swapped me shifts between it. It's like, oh, so hey, what was the food like? It's like, oh, you just had to go there, just had to fucking go there.
I will admit that most nights it was some sort of leftovers, but then there was also some fresh stuff too.
Yeah, on the carrier, it was all leftovers.
Well, let's see. Cooking for 150-ish odd amount of people versus cooking for 5,000 or so.
Yeah.
Which one's going to have more leftovers?
150.
Yeah, like you go to my boat and like our entire complement, including officers, wasn't even as big as the enlisted on Jay's boat. So.
Just so y'all know, I was a cook and a combat engineer. Two of the laziest jobs in the military.
I wouldn't so much say lazy on the cook side, but definitely inconsistent, because I've seen some.
Oh, I was consistent.
Well, no, because I see some. I remember seeing some who fucking busted their ass to actually do everything, but then you have the others who are like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, I was in a headquarters unit, so everything had to be right.
Yeah.
We had nothing but fucking people who wanted to tell other people what they weren't doing walking around my unit. But you never come into a cook's kitchen and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jared.
You know that...
Jared, have you ever seen a Nuke E4 cranking?
Was that made by
Wait, Tech. There are nuke E4s?
Yeah, you get a few sometimes. But depending on where everything lines up, you know. It's
As long as the cup holder functions still works.
Well, I mean,
Jared,
it is. What about the
I'm gonna
Air
cut
Force,
out.
the one that we're spending thousands of dollars on cups?
I'm gonna cut out, sir.
All right, Sean. Pleasure. I'll see you next time.
Later,
Take
Sean.
care, Sean.
Yeah.
But Jared, have you ever seen a nuke cranking before?
No.
Yeah, if you got on my boat, you would have seen nukes cranking. So
You would have seen nukes cranking on my boat too.
submarines are a little bit.
What is cranking?
So, temporary assigned duty to the mess deck. To the chow hall.
Okay, I was sitting here thinking it was as a substitute for a defective rocket engine being used to drive a missile out of the tube. That's what I was trying to.
It's when
how the hell would.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's when the
not
motor
cranking.
goes down and
It's
everybody's got to crank.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not cranking. It's a food service attendant.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh yeah, the fucking FSA title. So, oddly enough, because of the way I managed to luck out with my transfers and also my advancements, I never went TAD to the mess decks. I never went cranking.
Hey guys, can I say something? I made this meme. That meme right there that you just showed, the Morgellons meme.
This one is mine.
No, the one before it with the guy with that one.
Yeah, I made this one here.
That picture is mine. I put it into from Teams Hangout. Teams Hangout last month and told everybody to tag it.
Oh yeah,
Would you be
I
able to
made
tell
this.
me
I
what
made
the
the
hell
text
those
though.
things are?
I love it.
Fake dowsing probes or something? Or what the hell are they?
It's supposed to be for Morgellons disease.
What was the one we came up with, Jay Brown?
Oh.
You sent me a meme and then I altered it and made it cool.
Mine said Morgellons. I'm just trying to get the ball game.
No, it was something you sent me one about flat Earth and then I was like, oh, da-da-da, and you were like, you stole that from me. Was that you? It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jay
this
Brown?
one right here.
Yeah, that's how I learned about flat Earth.
Mine said Morgellons. I'm just trying to get the ball game.
I think I saw that one somewhere.
But
oh, that was a fucking fun ass night, man.
That was fun, dude. Both of the streams that night were fun.
This was a fun one. It's not a meme. It's just a screenshot of me doing a search for JM Truth. Anybody notice what's on? Anybody notice anything about this one here?
The bottom video. JM Truth versus Submarine.
What? You're fourth on the list of JM Truth.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
I watched that. Yes.
Let's just chalk it up to one of the many things that he has gotten so wrong.
Don't worry, we go in after the Marines. It's true.
Hey, go back to the military police one.
Well, grunts should be able to take anything, right?
85% of the military police deal with our killers.
The other 15% of the Air Force and Coast Guard.
The issue with this though is the assumption that military police actually get trained and are police because they're not.
Nope. No,
like
they're
no,
not.
like
they are here. They are here.
Some of them
oh,
are.
no, like
most of them are not.
They're glorified.
I would say like
security.
5% of their.
Exactly.
No, not even that. Not even base security. 5 to 10% of their mission is law enforcement. The rest of it is combat operations. They have completely forgotten the second word in their MOS.
Yeah. Well, and not just
because
that.
They're trying to stay relevant to combat.
Well, yeah. So they really are initially a force protection outfit when you really look at how they're utilized and trained at this point. It's force protection, not military police. And also, the Navy side, in order to be a Master at Arms, the Navy equivalent, you used to have to be another rate and make it to E5, and then you could cross rate into the Master at Arms ranks. Now, you have people joining it straight out of boot camp.
With Army military police, it's honestly just another MOS for infantry where they periodically do law enforcement function. That's what the MPs are today. And before we did the cross training where females were allowed in the combat arms back in the early days of the war, before females couldn't get into a combat arm, it was kind of known that if you were a woman and you wanted to see combat, be an MP, because their entire mission is convoy security, things downrange. They do so little focus on law enforcement that they don't know how to be cops, which is frustrating as shit to me.
Jared, I always
I've
knew
got to
this was
deal with
real.
that on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's what they're going to find at Area 51, other than a lot of bullets.
Yeah, I really love this thing. It's just, and I'm pedantic, I know, but I find it annoying that there's so many typos in there. But it's still very cool, though.
Well, you know
I
what?
still want to know how long.
Hang on, Bo. What do you expect from an image that was proofread by JM Truth?
Ooh.
What I don't understand about the Area 51 image, though, is that where are the Pin 15 extension forms? Where's the bulkhead remover?
Well, this is just one. This is just one locker. This is just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's just one corner of one locker.
Now,
Rotor one.
Fallopian tubes.
The PRC 7s. I know what
The
PRC
PU55Y
is.
lubricant.
E7?
You know.
What the hell is an E7?
The E7 pay grade, your senior NCO. And
they're not able of operating radios?
No. So the PRC,
I know that one, but yeah.
the pararescue communications. Well, it's actually personnel radio communication type.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
It is called when you call that out, it's a prick. So you're looking for a prick E7.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. Okay. That's a lot better.
How many of us have heard this one?
So
yeah.
So I spent about I spent about a month on the
Get off my back.
I spent about a month on the John C. Stennis. This was the wonderful part about being part of the redheaded stepchildren of the Navy, otherwise known as the OpDet community. So I was permanently assigned to a shore station, but I was deployable associated with an aviation squadron. So I didn't really belong to the shore facility, but I didn't really belong to the squadron either, or the boat that I ended up on. Redheaded stepchild. But
yeah, that sucks.
As OpDet, because I was coming from a shore facility, this is a continental U.S. Aviation type of billet. My job is to support the equipment that the aviation squadrons use, the actual repairable weapons assemblies. So for workups, because that's what I was a part of on the Stennis, was part of their workup cycle. My job was to go out with the squadron when they were doing their carrier quals and workups and other training evolutions to make sure that the ship's company guys actually remembered how to do their job as a repair technician, to make sure that their test fixtures actually worked properly, and to show them how to maintain certain weapons, systems that I was a resident expert on.
So what you're saying is that standing too much case on watch makes them forget?
So here's the thing. When a carrier comes back to its home port and the air wing goes bye-bye, the ship's company guys are the ones who stay with the ship, and when they're pier side, they're not actually working in their rate being part of the aircraft support department. They are actually then shifted to a let's rehab and maintain the physical condition of the ship itself. And
Tech division.
Yeah, and they are doing that for months, if not close to a year, depending on where they are in their deployment cycle. So if you're not actually working on the gear that your shop is intended to do, and all you're doing is the 3M bullshit, it's understandable why the people would lose those skills and would need the OpDet guys to come in and pretty much retrain them on the job.
Well, the reason why I brought up the case on is because if I remember correctly, when you were on the Stennis, they had just gotten done with a refit type thing where they were actually dry docked.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I was referring to the case on.
So I'm out there. I'm doing that. One of their test benches, one of their test kits didn't want to work right. So I spent a good chunk of my time literally going pin to pin and rebuilding this test kit. At one point, it was myself as an E5 and one other person in the shop because everyone else was off doing other shit. Phone rings. I'm the E5 in there, so I have to answer the phone. It's production control asking what's going on with the test kit that I'm working on. And it was either an E7 or an E8 who called down. And I told him, I was like, well, Chief, when I am the one currently in work on the test kit. I am doing a deep dive through it to make sure that everything is in order. Once I have an update, I will call you and provide this update to you guys when I get to a point where I actually have an update to give. The chief kind of stammered. Okay then. I hung up, went back to work. The chief of my shop, who is a chief I've worked for before, walked into the shop, walked down, stopped at the end of the aisle I was on, looked down at me with his coffee cup in his hand, held up by his chest, looks down, shakes his head a little bit, walks over to his desk. Comes back over and sits down to me and is like, so I heard you had quite the conversation on the phone earlier. I look over at Joel, the chief that I was working for, and it was like, was I wrong? It's like, it's a good thing I was in there because that chief didn't realize just how much you knew. And I was like, oh, so you explained it to him? He's like, yeah. And his first question was, how long has this guy been in? And when I told him, he was like, wait, no, there's more to it. And I explained to him that I've worked with you before at another command. Don't worry, when he tells you something like that, he means it. So afterwards, rather than do a phone call, once I got the test kit working, I went down there in person and let him put a face to the name. And at first he was like, wait, you... At first it looked like he wanted to rip my head off because I had the balls to talk to him in that tone, which was very matter of fact, direct. Some people could take as disrespectful, but I wasn't accurate. I wasn't factually wrong.
Yo, that is fucking hilarious.
Ended up getting along great with the guy because he and I ended up talking, and I let him know that, oh no, I grew up with a chief as a father. I grew up with that older mentality. It's one of those, I know my job. I want you to trust me to do my job, but I can't do that if you're constantly up my ass. And he was like,
Jared, what do you think of this picture?
Banders is so fucking funny.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a picture taken by a police officer. Not necessarily in Florida, but
or someone outside of a repair shop.
Air Force.
Actually, do the Marines do the underhand, or I thought they do the overhand?
They can do either. Army, you can do all three variants.
Huh. Well, in Navy,
the Marines can do forward or backwards.
Yeah, Navy doesn't do pull-ups as part of the PT test. But,
no, they don't.
But you have a lot of people who think that, oh, I'm going to be like the Marine and show them what's up and do it. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Jared, what do you think about this one?
For the Army, that's part of the new PT test, the combat readiness test that's coming out next year. And what you've got to do is you've got to maintain a 90 degree of your elbows and bring your knee or your feet up and lock your ankles over the bar and come back down at least one time, and then more if you want more points.
The only pull-ups I ever did.
One?
The only pull-ups I ever did while I was in
It's
Navy
harder
was
than it
when
sounds,
I was
dude.
in the third rack.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Still.
Pretty much.
So
It's harder
so
than it sounds. You have to
it-
keep your elbows at 90 degrees. You can't clench your head up and bring it in. Nothing.
Yeah.
You have to
I
use
know,
your
you
your
get-
I'm
core
not
strength.
looking forward to the new PT test.
Yeah, and you get acid in your muscles,
I'm glad
and
I'm
you
in.
get fucked
Here you go,
up.
Jared.
But
Alan
do they
shared this one in our
concentrate
group a
enough
while ago.
on your back muscles.
Oh, that is
yeah.
beautiful.
Okay, question.
Hold on a
Will
second,
this
don't move
ever
that. Go
happen
back, go back, go back,
in
go
the
back.
Air Force ever?
Can you go back to that one real quick?
Yeah, hold on. I'll pull it back
The
up.
prescription.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I
Looks
gotta
like
cut
Colonel
that.
Sanders.
It does. I'm writing you a prescription for 2 testicles. All right, I'm good. I got it.
Yeah, you know what? Geistview has the right mentality. Thank God I fucking retired. Push up, sit up, run, done.
That was it.
Oh
yep.
yeah, the new Army PT test is a nightmare. It includes so much equipment that every unit has to buy just to do a PT test. So you've got that. You have a medicine ball throw over your back. So it's from the front over the back, and they measure how far you throw it. I think you get 3
it's more of a
chances to do
functional?
that. Yeah. So it's the pull up, the medicine ball throw.
How is this guy passing the BMI? And Get the fuck out of here.
He's got a thick neck.
His neck is thick, all right.
And well, BMI doesn't matter, but in this case, it does.
U.S. standard.
BMI matters, dude. In the U.S. Army,
Yep.
yes, it does. They'll put you out so fucking fast.
Yeah, but body mass index. Who in their right minds?
I know it's
would
wrong, Bo.
use that
And we know
unless
it.
Yeah.
Wait.
I know it's wrong.
Wrong.
Wait.
This guy on the picture is wrong. But wow.
Bo, let's remember. So in the time that I was in, BMI was always a part of the metrics that the military used, where you have basic height weight charts. It's like, okay, you're this tall, you must be within this weight range. If you are above the upper limit, they don't do a legit accurate BMI test. They literally do a cloth tape measurement.
A tape measure, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
With
What I always did, it
on.
was funny because there were 2 different systems they would use, alternating every year, pretty much. They keep changing it.
Okay.
And there was a couple guys,
Now,
remember,
for
on
the
the
Army-
boat who arbitrarily would end up over or under, depending on which.
Well, using it for
I was always
just
over.
a basic go no go thing when you're trying to get in to the service. Okay, I'm
Shut your
fine with
airman
it.
mouth.
But I was thinking that it was something that was used on a regular basis.
No, we
I'm
only
6
do it
foot
if
two,
you
guys.
go overweight.
Completely off.
I'm 6'2". When I was in the military, I weighed around 215 to 220 pounds. And they told me I was always, I was 45 pounds overweight. They wanted me to be at 170 to 172. I was like,
Yeah, so I'm
okay.
So you weren't allowed to build muscle mass then?
Correct.
No, nobody did.
No, that's what the measurements are for.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
measurements are to make sure that your weight is actual muscle, not fat. Because apparently, 170 at over 6 foot is a proper weight.
It's emaciated. It's
Yeah,
emaciated.
yeah. Well,
and
so
I laughed in his face when he told me that. I was like, dude, I haven't weighed 170 pounds since I was 10 years old. The fuck are you talking about?
So and
Yeah,
here,
some
and here's
people
the
would
thing.
have to work really hard to gain weight.
At my
And-
best weight, at my best physical shape while I was in, being 5'10", I was 185. And I wasn't even cut. I was toned, but I wasn't cut. So whenever the problem that I had with the tape was the fact that with the way my body is, my physical structure is, most of my muscle mass is my core and legs.
And they don't measure your legs.
No, they don't.
The major.
It's
the primary. So the primary reason why I don't like
Don't
that
move,
BMI
don't move,
stuff-
don't move. I'm
BMI
taking that one too.
Yeah.
So, Bo,
the main reason
what
for
they-
why I don't like the BMI stuff is like you said there, people are different. There's different body types.
So
Not
here,
We all knew it was
I
stupid,
own
man.
stuff, but
here's where I
different
got
types.
here's where I kind of got lucky though, because the male measurements that they did when they taped were neck, chest, and waist, and I could pass through that. What I really wanted to get on the record was an actual reading, and at NAS Jacksonville, they actually had the dunk tank, so they can do an actual submersion test.
Huh. Water displacement?
Yep.
They take water displacement serious in the Navy.
What, compared
Kill
to
people with
taping?
kindness.
Yeah, I know, but it's just it just sounded weird.
Yeah, so when you look at accuracy,
hey, I mean,
when
it
you look
works.
at accuracy of BMI, the basic taping that they did is the most inaccurate. The water dispersal is in the middle. The most accurate was the actual calipers.
Yeah,
which they didn't want to do.
Now, Bo, we know
I really
it's
don't
bullshit.
get that one.
It's just
Yeah,
we have to live with it.
That hearing test thing, I don't get it because I do get hallucinations.
Yeah, we all do. That's one of the things.
Auditory and visually every now and then.
Yeah,
we all hear
the issue.
The fun. I'm not getting triggered at all because I'm not a little bitch, but I just don't get that one.
Hey, Bo, if you do want to get triggered, I got a story for you. So, like they said, if you go over your weight, you have to be taped. The purpose of the tape is to make sure that your body is still fit and you're not like that tubby bastard in the picture. I had a guy
got kicked out of my unit the first day. Oh no, bro!
I had a guy probably like 9 years ago that was.
That dude was fit. He would have fit in an APC.
I had a guy that
by
was
himself, maybe.
Yeah, I had a guy that was an E5. He was a CrossFit trainer. He was solid muscle. And when he weighed, he was overweight, so we had to tape him. But he didn't have a big neck.
Yep.
So when we taped him, he was over body mass, and he goes on the Fat Boy program where you have to show progress every month to either lose body mass or lose weight. And then as soon as you come back with intolerances, you come off the body mass or the body fat program. Just wait.
PT.
So the first time that he hit that where he failed height and weight, he was a week from going to school for E6. He was a week from BNOC.
Oh God.
So he got removed from school because he failed height and weight. And this is a fit guy. He just doesn't meet the Army idea of fit. So we have to yank him out of school. He goes into the body fat program. He spends about 2 months going through it, and he comes back down below. So now he is within Army standards. 12 months later, he's getting ready to go back to that same school we had to pull him out of. And just like last time, you got to weigh and tape him a week before you go to make sure you don't show up fat. And he busted again the exact same way. And by Army standards, if you go on the body fat program twice within 12 months, automatic separation from the military.
Yeah, I would have. DM, I would have.
Fucking
I would have
doctors
flubbed that
looking
for him.
over that shit.
No, they don't.
That's just ridiculous.
No, your
That
readiness NCO is your life is in your readiness NCO's hand, and I would have flubbed that for him because I'd be looking at him like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking do this.
That's just. I mean, that is incompetence on
It
a
is.
command level.
The U.S. Army will frustrate the fuck out of you with the dumb shit. They really
Oops,
will.
I put the wrong number
in
there.
that
Darn it.
Army. What the hell?
Yeah, I felt like shit because I was the NCOIC of the detachment, and I had to start filing all the paperwork to get it going.
That sucks. I'm sorry you had to do that, dude.
That's
He was a good guy, and he was
I'm
fit.
using this word, but yeah, that is really retarded.
I was fit too, and I was
doctoring over that one.
I spent the last 3 years of my enlistment on the BMI thing because my unit started actually doing it. Nobody ever did anything to me about it, but I was technically on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't gonna have anybody tell me shit. I never scored less than a 285 on a PT test, so he's nuts, you know.
Speaking of nuts,
same with him. He scored like 290 routinely.
Yeah, on the donut eating test.
Oh
Okay, is that
no,
a
he's talking about the guy that
thermal
had to be processed out.
Oh, I thought he was talking about this dude on the screen. I'm like, this dude.
No.
That's home built crap. He's not
He's-
military. That's my guess. In
That
any
looks military. to
You're
me,
missing the
bro.
joke.
Yeah, you're.
That's a supply
read
room,
it.
right? He's in
I'm
a supply
reading
room
it.
and everything.
It should have been a guy in a
Oh.
police uniform.
Oh, you're overthinking the fat guy in the camo with a quote unquote assault rifle looking gun, saying,
Assault
"Get
rifle,
between
man.
me and my donuts! I fucking dare you."
And of course, the first clue, the first big bit of evidence to show that this guy has nothing to do with the armed forces is his right index finger.
Yeah, too close
In
to
my
the
mind,
trigger.
It's not a good look,
Weekend
yeah.
warrior.
But that's definitely a supply room he's in, though. Yeah, he's a weekend warrior. That is a fucking guardsman if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah.
Look at that foregrip he bought for his weapon. They don't issue that shit. Get the hell out of here, man.
Hey, but look at that fucking neck.
Oh, look at that neck.
What neck?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
how he passes.
elongated
That's how he
stomach.
passes the BMI right there, dude.
Yeah, it's an elongated stomach.
It's called waddle.
Whoever this dude's commanding officer is a G. I got a rolling chair for your ass. Get out in the motor pool with this weed eater. That is fucking awesome. Hey, one time in basic training, I came down the stairs to do my laundry, and the drill sergeant was sitting there at the check-in desk with his feet up on the table, and all I saw him was, if y'all can see me, he was just sitting there reading a book, and he was doing this.
Hold on.
Huh?
Talk again so you can get or
He was
your
just
opinion.
he was just counting with his fingers, and I was looking at him for a second, and then I looked around the corner, and he had 4 privates on the floor just doing push-ups, and he had been doing it for so long, and he was just sitting there counting with his fingers. Dude, he looked up at me, he saw I was about to laugh, and he just shook his head no.
Don't do it.
I was like, all right, man.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those don't do it or you're joining them.
Exactly, but he knew he was being funny, though.
Because you can't hold it in.
Oh, it was so damn funny. I couldn't help myself but look around the corner to see what the hell he was doing. And when I saw 4 of them sitting there like that, so I still remember that shit like it was yesterday. Air Force deployments. Fondue bar. Hell yeah,
we have
live,
that
Mr.
one.
Stupid.
Yeah, we have that.
For our cleaning station.
And so fucking true.
Does he never come?
So,
well, arrive anyway.
90% of the time when they say, hey, the Admiral's coming, we need to field day the shit out of our spaces, doesn't even show up.
He goes to like 1 or 2 spots, and that's about it.
Yeah, and there are spots that are literally 2-3 spaces outside of where he normally hangs out anyways.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
I just forgot, guys. I need to do a breakfast break run thing.
But yeah, you know what, Bo? Yeah. It's good timing. You go do that. We're going to take this off air, and those people who want to join movie night on Psystrike's channel, that will give us plenty of time to load up on the alcohol, and gives the audience time to go over and join the wait over there. And actually, does someone already have it? In the meantime, yeah. Just remember, guys, we want to get him to 100 just so he can see it drop back down into the 50s after the debate tomorrow.
I forgot to sub to him. Let me look that up right now. How do you spell it? Matheus? E-I-U-S?
Yep. I-E-U-S.
I-E-U-S. X?
Sierra.
What?
The Walking Witness.
The Walking Witness.
Look, it's
Found
simple.
him, subbed.
Just don't go to that link to not subscribe to him.
He's at 83 now.
But we have to be careful that he doesn't find out this.
Oh God, if he's watching this, then good on him.
Yeah, that's extremely unlucky of us.
Yeah.
Hey, yet another syringe warrior is in the live chat, I see. Hey, Bull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gotta go for that breakfast.
All right, guys.
You
Hey, I'm
go
gonna
do that. Are about to go off air. For anyone who wants to join the audience for movie night, there is the watch link for this week's edition, which as of right now I will be a part of because I actually have the time to. I don't have to be up at 4 a.m. for work tomorrow. Yay!
So now you get to destroy your kid.
87. 87.
Hey, woohoo.
We're on the move.
Not 86. Damn it.
We need 13 more people, and then we'll let it sit. And then after the debate, we all unsub.
Well, it's gonna take a little time.
What's going on here?
Wait, no. You're going
after the debate.
After the debate, guys. After. We want them to get to 100 and get the notice. Hey, you made it to 100.
Dude,
you have more stuff.
Jared, he's probably so suspicious right now. All this shit's just coming in. He's got like 25 ads for no reason all of a sudden.
You know?
Schrodinger's cat's guy's got a following, man.
Hey, and that's the thing. Or maybe he thinks, oh, I'm finally getting my big break. Yeah.
The YouTube algorithm picked me up.
Yep, see?
With your 80 followers. Okay.
Hey, you never know.
By the way,
like
Jared,
I said, I can just use my 17,000 sock accounts, and I'll go. It'll take me some time, but I can sign them up for 17,000 subs.
We're at 88.
It's good. Aussie Globe had to do it, man.
Make sure that Sai's okay with me posting that message into his live chat.
We will see, and we will talk about it because
if he says no, I will not do it. Obviously,
Yep. So the debate is tomorrow evening on Fight the Flat Earth's channel, if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, for Schrodinger cat.
Yep.
Yeah, when are y'all doing science or satire, team, man? Y'all, come on.
You know, we need to start next week, I think. We're trying to incorporate Creaky in it as well. For me, Fight the Flat Earth and Creaky doing shit all the time over there. But it's just been slow, man. It's partially my fault. We'll just say it's my fault. I'll take the blame for all of it.
Ash Scott, has you ever eaten a banana? What the fuck is going on there, dude?
Oh, he's up to 90.
Oh, he's gonna go.
Oh. Yep. See. Yep. And so, oh no,
guys, I'm gonna feel bad for this cat tomorrow.
You saw his
not
video.
really.
There's nothing to feel bad for.
Yeah. He put himself out there for this.
Is he a douche? I don't know anything about him.
Well,
watch his videos.
Did you see the video?
Okay, I'll check. No, I didn't. I must have stepped out or something.
Oh,
watch the most recent video with the sound off.
Sound off?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, the audio on there is copyrighted music, which is why we didn't play it, and it is sped up to about 1.75 speed, maybe a little faster, or maybe almost 2.
Sounds like my type of orgy.
91.
Eat it up.
All right. So, judging from the audience response earlier in the show as well, we will see you guys tomorrow evening about an hour before the debate for a pre-show, just to remind everyone about this channel and to totally do not unsub until after the debate.
I'll be there.
And with that, thank you all for joining the panel. The audience that was out there, thank you. For everyone who has left super chats to this point, you are so much appreciated. And with that, we will see you guys tomorrow night.